Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 15 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 15-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 10 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 10-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
on the Hawkeye Sports Network. From Learfield, Hawkeye Baseball is on the air. Hawkeye Baseball is brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community by University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Now live, this is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball.
From the campus of the University of Iowa, it's baseball time in Iowa City. Live from Dwayne Banks Field, it's a midweek matchup between the Peacocks of Upper Iowa and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Welcome to the broadcast booth alongside my fine color analyst John Evans. I'm John Leo. Keeping things rolling today against Upper Iowa, the Division II Peacocks enter with a 15-23 record. They hail from the Great Lakes Valley Conference, a little bit different than the Northern Sun that they were once in. These teams last met in 2014 with Iowa winning 8-3. It's a special game for Iowa. Coach Rick Heller, who will coach against his alma mater and former program that was at the helm for many years. With a win today, Coach would reach 30 wins in 8 of his first 10 seasons here at Iowa, with the only 2 exceptions being a shortened season in 2020 and a Big Ten-only schedule in 2021. An opportunity for a special day in Iowa City if the Hawkeyes take care of business. Zach Volker gets the midweek start for the black and gold as he attempts to get back on track on the mound. Today it's the Peacocks and Hawkeyes. Upper Iowa and Iowa live from Banks with first pitch coming in a bit. Well, the Hawkeyes are fresh off of a sweep of then first place Big Ten rival Nebraska. It started Friday with an 11-6 winner. 2 on and 2 out. The 2-1. Anthony drives it deep to right. Get going, baby. It is gone. Keaton. Anthony. Boom. Whitlock pitches this one. It's driven in the air to left. Shallow left. Wilmus coming forward. Still running. He slides and he caught it. Oh, that was a close play. And Ben makes it for the 3rd out. First pitch to Anthony. Line drive right to short and through into left. 1 run is in. Here comes Moss. He'll score. It's 10-4. Yes.
Look at
Iowa followed up the offensive explosion with a shutout of the Huskers on Saturday, an 8-0 victory. Here comes the 1-1 from Morgan. Line drive into center. That's down for a base hit in front of Huckstorf. He'll get it in quickly. Here comes the throw to third, and he got it!
meat.
What a throw by Huckstorf, and that gets the fans on their feet. Pickoff move at first. Got him! Ha-ha! Back-to-back days with a pickoff at first. Morgan's first pitch swung on into center. Huckstorf moving over to right. He dives. He caught it! Yes! Kyle Huckstorf saves a run and a base hit with the full extension dive and catch to end the 5th. The 1-2. Line drive to right. Right fielder moving back. I think it burned him. It's over his head. Off the wall again. DeRiggi will score. Get going, Raider Tello. Here comes Raider. He will score. It's 8-0. Huckstorf. Yeah. Iowa would get the sweep on Sunday. The cherry on top. A 6-1 victory and a dandy from Ty Langenberg. 2-0 pitch. Moss pops it up right side. Down the line and carrying well to the corner. Off the wall. It's over the right fielder's head. Honar scores. Here comes Seegers. He'll score. Hawks lead on the triple for Cade Moss. Yeah! To DeRiggi. Ready for the next one? Here it comes. Brennan crushes it deep to right. An absolute no-doubter. Is it fair? It is. Home run. Brennan. DeRiggi. Boom. 0-2 pitch. Tied. Feels it. Deals it. Swing and a miss. He got him. Langenberg was special on Sunday. Got him back on track. The Hawkeyes have a lot of momentum right now. Reaching their peak as we get closer towards the end of the season. It's Iowa and Upper Iowa today. After this break, we'll talk with Mitch Beau, first-year volunteer assistant. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong Team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong Team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing US Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today?
The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to US Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Iowa Hawkeye baseball. Today, Upper Iowa is in town to take on the Hawkeyes. We're joined now by first-year volunteer assistant Mitchell Beau. Mitch, good to have you back on.
It's good to be here.
All right, last time we talked to you was a few weeks ago. You're fully settled in now. You look good again in the black and gold.
I appreciate it. It's good to be back. Definitely settled in. Getting close to the end here.
Yes, we're pushing towards the finish line. Just touch on a little bit of the recap things to this point. Defensively, we're making some really good plays out there, and I know you're in charge of the defensive alignments.
Yeah, defensively. I mean, I put them in the spots where set them up to make a play, and they've done a great job. And they've made their adjustments. It's not all me. It's those guys putting in the work too. So they've done great with it.
They're in the middle of the year, maybe a couple of bumpy roads. Maybe that series with Maryland, series with Indiana. Reflect back on your time as a player to how you pulled out of those, maybe mentally first, and then sticking to the process.
Yeah, I mean those are kind of like our dog days. There's really no dog days in college baseball with the short seasons. When you look at the MLB season and stuff, and the minor league season, you get through July and August, and you got a routine going, and then some things don't fall your way. Maybe you get out of that routine, and it's kind of hard to get back to it. And that was the message to our guys. It's just getting back to who we were. Those first 20 games. I mean, they had a smile on every single one of their faces. Maybe not a whole lot of adversity that they had to battle through, but they all had smiles on their face. They were fighting for each other. And it got sped up on them for sure. I mean, that's all it was, and it was just reeling those guys back in. And hey, we're fighting for the guy next to you. We're fighting for the guys in our dugout. It doesn't matter who we're playing. And you saw that this weekend. They got back to it, and they were fighting for each other. They were fighting for their guy next to them in the trench.
Team chemistry's got a lot to do with that, right, Coach?
Yes, 100%. The team chemistry obviously starts in the fall, the grind of the fall ball, and you kind of get through that. Then you grind through winter, and that's where those strides are made all together.
How big of a challenge is it at this point of the season? You can kind of see the finish line. It's not too far off. We've got about a month left.
Yeah.
Got to be challenging at times, you think?
Yeah, 100%. Just kind of keeping them focused on one game at a time. I know Marty just had a talk in there not 20 minutes ago about what it takes every day to show up with the same focus. And and it's not just because it was Nebraska. You know, we gotta have that focus every single day when we show up to the ballpark, like we're playing a rivalry game, like this is the biggest game of the year, and their focus was unmatched this weekend, and you saw that, and it's just showing up to Tuesday midweek with the same Friday night focus. That's what it's going to take to take us to the next level.
Yeah, and we don't have to, unfortunately, go back too far to see if maybe that focus isn't there. So we get another shot on a Tuesday midweek today against Upper Iowa. Finally, before we let you go, just what's exciting you the most about tonight and then the weekend upcoming?
Tonight is the sun's out. That's the biggest thing. That's honestly one of the biggest things. No, it's an exciting game, especially Coach Heller. Coach Heller had a nice stint here at Upper Iowa, and this game means something to him. So therefore, it means something to all of us. So that's the way we're taking it, and like you said, it's no different than Saturday against LSU or Friday against Nebraska. We're going to come at it with our focus, and we're going to fight.
All right, Mitch, sounds great. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
First-year volunteer assistant Mitchell Beau on our pregame show from Banks. Coming up out of this break, we'll talk with the head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller. Right after this, this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
At US Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness. Visit US Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Iowa Hawkeye baseball. Today, the Upper Iowa Peacocks are in town to take on the Hawkeyes here at Duane Banks. We're joined by head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller. Coach, final thought on that impressive sweep of Nebraska?
Man, I was really proud of our team and just really happy with how they went out 3 straight days and executed a really good plan on the offensive side. Really did a nice job of pounding the strike zone. And, we haven't talked since Ty Langenberg's start, and we were both talking about how important it was that he'd have 4 pitches against the hitting group that we were facing from Nebraska. And, you always think after you hold a team like them down for 2 days that, man, it's going to be tough that 3rd day and a little warmer. And then, Bryce Matthews homers in his first at-bat, and Ty just said, that's it, shut him down. Ends up going 7 innings, and, Will Christofferson was good, and then so was Simpson. But Ty was really outstanding on Sunday, and it was a big step up and a big show of toughness on his part because it hadn't been going that good. And man, I just hope we can continue to do that on the mound like we did. After we went to the bullpen on Friday, it was really solid after that.
Coach McGrath had talked about that when it comes to Ty, kind of challenge him a little bit to make it personal before you get out there on the mound. Do you sense that from him?
Yeah, I always telling the story of the Tommy Lasorda and Oral Hershiser, because Oral Hershiser was such a nice guy, and Tommy would nickname him Bulldog just to try to make him tougher and meaner and try to get him to change when he got out on the mound and turn into that guy. And sometimes it's good for Ty to hear that stuff. And I know Coach McGrath and him have been working on some stuff to kind of flip that switch. And process is great, but make that your process where things aren't going well, man. You just switch. You make it stop right now. It's over. And he was like that for sure on Sunday.
Offense is really clicking, covered all the bases this weekend.
Yeah, the great thing about this weekend, it was like, Keaton obviously was on fire, and then they pitched around him a little bit, and then he hit into some bad luck on Sunday. He hit a couple balls right on the nose, and didn't get anything to show for it. But all weekend long, guys up and down the lineup. We had 3 in a row where we were getting positive production in all spots in the lineup, and that makes it so much better when you're able to do that, and we've seen days where 1 or 2 guys were able to carry, they had awesome days, and 3 hits, 4 hits in the 3-4 spot, whatever it is, and then there's also days where you only get a couple hits from a couple guys at the bottom or top or wherever, and then you just don't score any runs. And we had guys getting on base, we had guys bunting, we had guys, Michael Seegers slash hit and run. I mean, we were doing a lot of stuff up and down the lineup that was really positive.
Earlier in the season, I think it was before the Texas Tech series, you had kind of said to the team, "Hey, I like where we're at. It feels like we're on the right track." And then maybe a tough series with Texas Tech, but do you have that same feeling now about the guys? How do you feel?
I felt really good about where we were at. Like we talked before the pregame on Sunday. You throw out last Tuesday, and that's a pretty good run, and well played, all facets of the game, and that's all we're looking for is to be able to play to our potential, and you try to get better each day and work on those things, and we've been doing that day in and day out since we played that first game. I mean, that's baseball, that's sports, that's coaching, that's the way it is. I mean, you have to have a drive to get better, to improve, to not sit on your laurels, to not just get on your high horse and think it's there. As soon as you do that, you're going to get knocked off, and that's the message this week. And what we talked about after the game on Sunday was just like, listen, you guys did it for 3 straight games. This is what it takes. It's going to take this kind of focus, this kind of energy, this kind of executing the plan, this kind of scouting report work, watching the video on your own. We need to flip the switch fairly quick after the game and get right back on the next pitcher. I mean, all those things. And we did that this weekend against a very, very good team that had been going well. And we overcame a lot of things that were uncontrollable. Weather was bad. It's cold, easy to, feel sorry for yourself, whatever, and we just went out and played regardless of what was going on. And I sensed that we had a group in the dugout, and the guys not playing, the guys who were playing, the pitchers who pitched, didn't pitch, but it was us against them. It wasn't, I got to get up there and do this or that. And that's the feeling you're looking for on a team that if you can get all the time, that's when you're to a spot when special things can happen. But again, you're only as good as the next game, and as we both know, you walk guys, you give free bases, and you put yourself at risk to get beat by anybody, and that's just the way it is.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, on our pregame show from Dwayne Banks today. Okay, coach, there's really no secret. It better not be a secret. This might be a little bit of a special game for you, taking on Upper Iowa.
Well, it's definitely one that I will not be taking lightly, obviously. I went to school there, and I coached there for 12 years, and, Upper Iowa was a special place to me, and, I have so many fond memories and so many good friends and former players, and I was telling the team before the game, when you run a culture-based program like we do, and the message that you're getting day in and day out is the same message that those guys got, at Upper Iowa, and same message the guys at UNI that I coached and the guys at Indiana State. And on any given night that we have a win or play well or something happens, it's good. I'm getting just as many texts from former players at all 4 of those, at all 4 schools, not just the Iowa guys or the Iowa alums or The Iowa boosters, it's from that group all the way back. And so for me, the important thing is that we come out today and we give a tremendous effort. I'd love to have anybody that's watching that was a part of anything I was involved in, in the years I was there, to say, man, yeah, they're doing it just like we did. We're busting, running hard out, running balls out, getting out the field. We're tough, we're scrappy, all those things that we pride ourselves with being. That's all I'd like to see today, is us come out and really give a great effort.
Have you had any time to reflect back on some of those memories at Upper Iowa? Are you still busy coaching and whatnot? I know you still care about the place.
No, I definitely do, and I root for Coach Ishii. I think he's an awesome coach. He's a really good baseball guy, and Rick Hartzell's the AD, and Rick was the one who hired me at UNI and gave me my first Division I opportunity, and Mark Danker works in the foundation. Mark was my pitching coach for 12 years, and then I think he was the head coach for 10 or 12 years after that, and carried on what we were doing, and just so many people there. Coach Prohaska still lives in town, is around the program, and up in his 80s, and was my coach. And Coach Danker's bringing a busload of people from Fayette down tonight, so it'll be a lot of friends here and a lot of people that are really special to me. And I know every player that is within driving distance that I coach at Upper Iowa was trying to have a little reunion here today, and got notes from the guys from out of state. Got guys setting up in their guys in the warm weather areas are setting up in their garage with the TV, and so it's a fun deal. And I just want to thank. I really want to publicly thank Coach Ishii for playing this game. There's a new coach at Western Illinois. Whatever happened, we'd had Western Illinois in this state for year after year, and somehow he said he didn't get that in the scheduling when he got the job, and so he couldn't play it this year, and we were sitting here without a game, and they had 4 conference games this weekend, and they got to go to a big conference game tomorrow in Sioux Falls, and they pinched us in here and came down to play, to help us out, and hopefully it's good for them too. But we'd be sitting here without a game if Coach Ishii wouldn't have agreed to come down and play us today. So really appreciate that.
He seems like an impressive young coach. Maybe some advice for him?
No, he is. He does a great job. He comes down and works our camps with us a lot. And I knew him when he was assistant there for Brandon Hunt, who is doing a really good job, and now is at North Dakota State and was with the Gophers for a while. And the Peacocks are getting ready to move to a new conference, which is going to be a warmer southern conference. The conference they're in is a real tough one, because they're in with a lot of the state schools, and with Upper Iowa being small private, it's just not a level playing field. And I think that you're going to see the program really take off with them moving to that league, and Jeremy at the helm. I think they're going to really take it to the next level. And plus, you got Rick Hartzell there, who's a baseball guy. And he's going to be given a lot more support than what they've seen in the past.
Back to your program today, Coach. We'll go with Zach Volker getting the start on the mound today.
Yeah, it just didn't work out where Zach got in this weekend, and great opportunity to give him a start and let him go a couple innings, and hopefully the weekend off gave him a little rest, and we see the guy that we've seen the majority of the year go out there and pitch really well, and it's his birthday today, so couldn't have been better timing.
Yeah. Who will he follow it up with after Zach, do you think?
I think we're going to go to Simpson and give Jared an inning. He got the last inning on Sunday, but we're going to give Jared an inning, keep him sharp. We're going to go probably Nick Attila after that, somewhere in there, Chaz Wheatley, maybe in the 4th or 5th, and then you're going to see Kate Obermueller in there, possibly Jack Young, and then if it makes it to the 9th or the 8th and the 9th, you're going to have Will Christofferson and Lou Ellen at the back end, and then Jacob Henderson will be there to bail anybody out that gets in trouble, and we'll play the game by ear, and maybe start him in the 7th if the matchups after we see him, because that's one thing with playing Upper Iowa today. We don't have the normal scouting system. They're not on the Synergy system that we purchased, that you can get all the videos and all the games, and so kind of having to wing it a little bit today with the matchups and the lineups. But after 2 or 3 innings, if that's the matchup, we can flip flop guys here and there. But that's kind of the plan on the pitching side.
Coach, a win today, and you'll get to 30 wins in 8 of your first 10 seasons, and the 2 exceptions are the shortened seasons.
Yeah, because for sure we would have on those years.
Yeah.
And,
it's got to be special to you, Coach.
No, it does mean a lot because of where it was prior and how rare that had been. And when you're a northern team, that's a pretty good landmark. I mean, you see teams in the South that play 10, 12, 15 more home games than us that are going to get in that 40 a lot. But for us to get in that 30, 35, 36 last year, 42 the one year, that's to me a good sign of where the program's at. We're still going to go, taking it to the next level, and just super happy that we've been the model of consistency, since we got here with playing quality baseball, competitive, winning baseball, and it's definitely a tribute to our guys and their commitment to go out and play consistent baseball day in and day out.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Let's win the day, take down the Peacocks.
Thank you, John.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, on our pregame show from Dwayne Banks. We're moments away from first pitch, coming up right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Iowa Hawkeye baseball today from Dwayne Banks Field in Iowa City. It's Iowa and Upper Iowa. We'll get you starting lineups and more information on today's game coming up in just a second. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye baseball. Let's welcome in color analyst John Evans. John, this is a picture-perfect day in Iowa City.
Well, relative to what we've had, yes. I'll agree with that. I was just looking at we've got 57 degrees. We're actually under 10 miles an hour in wind, which is
it must be
that's a very new development in Iowa City or any of the games we've played. And so yes, we'll call it that. Although for late April, you're kind of hoping that it starts to turn this way for us.
Well, of course, this weekend in Iowa City, it's going to be really nice. I saw some 70s, some upper 60s. We're getting out of town though. We're going to Penn State. It's supposed to rain all 3 games out there.
Yeah, we're traveling to mid-50s and rain all weekend, so we'll see how that works. I don't think we're going to be able to talk them into coming here to play the series. So
we should try. Anybody got a sales degree up here in the booth? You or me? I don't. So I'll have to try somebody else. But
we'll ask around.
Yeah. All right. Today's game with Upper Iowa, John. Your thoughts on it?
Every game has its level of pressure or whatever, but this one, doesn't hurt the RPI. Doesn't really matter what you do there. You're going to get a chance to get guys out onto the field, play, and it's a little bit of a feel-good. Coach Heller's Hall of Fame in football, basketball, and baseball, or lettered in all those sports at Upper Iowa. Hall of Fame in the athletics up there. An amazing career there, and we're going to have a huge crowd. We've got we might have more light blue than we had red this weekend.
I think half the town of Fayette might be here today for this one. We've seen a few folks here in the stands, which are filling up, that are wearing, Iowa sweatshirts, but an Upper Iowa Peacock ball cap. There's just a lot of state ties here, Upper Iowa being the only Division II school in the state. So it's good to have them down today.
Yeah, this will be a lot of fun, and Nice to get the game in this week, and Coach Heller had mentioned big week for Upper Iowa, so nice of them to jam this into the schedule, which as we know, 5 games last week's not easy to do, and so you add this into the middle of a busy week. It was very considerate of them to get it done, and I'm sure that Coach Heller's ties helped with that.
If you think about it from an Iowa perspective, okay, just swept Nebraska. Things are going in the right direction. You don't want to get caught looking ahead to Penn State this weekend. You mesh that together with the fact that, hey, last Tuesday we got beat, and I don't think that we'll be taking the Peacocks lightly today.
I'm not sure we got beat. We got kind of handed last week, and and so that's what you saw though in the rebound on Wednesday, and then what you saw all weekend was a focus. That was probably the best string of 24 innings, because that's all we had to bat, but of at-bats. At-bat after at-bat after at-bat was good. Were they all perfect? Of course not. But at-bat after at-bat was really, really good. And so you want to kind of see that carry to today. You want to see the pitching staff continue to throw strikes, dominate the zone, get ahead, and then the result will take care of itself.
The sun is shining in Iowa City. We're moments away from first pitch. We'll step away for the national anthem today when we come back. Starting lineups and first pitch between Upper Iowa and Iowa. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave. Aaron Boulder.
Another spectacular rendition of our national anthem. Great job today, Aaron. That's in the books. We're ready for first pitch, but first, starting lineups. Upper Iowa in town. The Peacocks are 15-23 overall. Peacocks are coached by Jeremy Ishii. Upper Iowa sends Ryan Hull to the box first. He's their center fielder, followed by Cale Luzum. He's out in right. Ethan Sawyer bats third. Brock Zimmer, Victor Plaz, Alex Green make up 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9 for the Peacocks. Kyle Hernser, Caden White, and Bryce Hall. Iowa on the flip side of things, 29-10. Under the head coaching of Rick Heller in his 10th season. Defensively, Iowa sends Brennan Deriggi to first, Sam Honard to second. Michael Seegers over there at short, Raider Tello, the hot corner at third base. In the outfield from left to right, Ben Wilmus, Kyle Huckstorf, and Sam Peterson. Getting the start doing the catching today for Iowa is Ben Tallman. And on the mound, getting the start for the Hawkeyes, the birthday boy, Zach Volker.
Zach Volker's 3-1 on the season. This will be his 11th appearance, but his first start, as he's got a 5.75 ERA in 36 innings, 32 hits, 23 runs. They've all been earned, 18 walks, 29 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just .241 against Zach. And another one of those guys that started the year great, kind of slumped a little bit, but then looked pretty good in his last few outings. But starting pitching was so good this weekend and then the first reliever in the case of Friday was so good that Iowa got deep enough into games they really didn't have to turn to Zach, so created a really nice opportunity to get him a midweek start, kind of get him accustomed to that role. And whether Iowa's making a run in the Big Ten tournament, maybe a run at a regional, this could be something that might come in handy somewhere down the road.
I love this for Zach. This is a great opportunity for him to get the start, go a couple of innings if everything goes the right way for him. And just to your point right there, John, because we're going to get to the Big Ten tournament in all positive thinking that we're going to make it and get there and then make a run when we do. That's a lot of games. You're going to get off your rotation a little bit there because you're playing more than 3 games for the most part when you get there. So an opportunity for Volker to show his stuff in the starting role.
Yeah, they changed the schedule a little bit at the Big Ten tournament to maybe fight some weather delays or some lengthy games.
Last year was crazy, wasn't it?
Last year was awful. But this year Iowa might have the pitching depth to kind of fight through that a little bit better than they were able to last year, and which is strange to think when you had a guy like Adam Mazur at the top of the rotation, but might work out.
All right, Volker is on the rubber. Ryan Hull is in the box, right-handed hitter. First pitch on the way, and a called strike. We're underway in Iowa City. 4:05 first pitch. Sun is shining at Dwayne Banks this afternoon. Volker's ready for the next pitch. The 0-1 is on its way. Swung on and missed. 0-2.
2 good fastballs there to start from Volker. Hull's the best hitter by average on Upper Iowa, hitting .331 on the season.
Volker's 0-2 pitch on its way home. That's high and tight, ball 1. Zach's a redshirt sophomore. 6'2", 215 pounds. Transferred in from Long Beach State. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the delivery. That's high again, ball 2. Talking with Coach Heller in the pregame segment. I thought a couple innings out of Zach, and then get a couple of guys in from the bullpen. So for Zach to be efficient here today. The 2-2 on its way. That's high, ball 3. He's missed 3 in a row high after a couple of nice fastballs to start things out.
Yeah, started off with 2 great fastballs, picked his spots well, and then really 3 fastballs now in the same spot, just up above the zone, not even close really.
Missed in the same spot right there. It's a leadoff walk for Ryan Hull.
Actually tried to throw a breaking ball there. One of the things, again, you didn't see it a ton this weekend. After Friday, there weren't a lot of walks that Iowa issued, but kind of what you want to look out for. Upper Iowa strikes out twice as often as they walk on the season, so really not a team that's looking to draw a lot of walks. Be competitive in the zone, and you'll get out of this stuff.
Next batter is Cale Luzum, left-handed hitter. He takes the first pitch from Volker up and in. Zach's going to walk off the back of the mound and regroup here. Thrown 5 out of the zone in a row.
That one was a little more competitive, but the other 4 really weren't tempting at all.
1-0 pitch is high again, ball 2. And Ben Tallman will throw up a hand and go jog out to the pitcher's mound. Here comes Coach McGrath with an early mound visit in the top of the first. We're just underway in Iowa City. Upper Iowa in town to take on the Hawkeyes. Umpires today, Kevin Ferris is behind the plate. Down the line at first is Shane Cannon. Out there at second is Eric Turngren. Over here at third, on the third baseline, Christopher Viverto.
Does Don Umland have the replay booth or something?
Where's Don?
Yeah, where's Don? He's gotta be somewhere. So
he's usually our midweek guy somewhere out of the 4, but got the day off.
Must have been busy.
Yeah, well, there's no other team in the state. He must have got pulled over to Illinois State or something.
Yeah.
All right, mound visits concluded. Volker has thrown 6 straight pitches out of the zone right now, and so we'll see if McGrath's magic words have worked. Luzum is the right fielder, and now Volker's ready. This one is smoked down the right field line, hooking and foul. Got a charge into that one. It stayed in the park, but smacked just foul down that right field line. 2 balls and a strike.
as Zach came back with the fastball again, but it was up in the zone that time. It was at least in the strike zone, and Luzum was sitting on it, just got ahead and ripped it down the right field line, foul.
Out of the stretch, Volker's got the sign, the pitch. This is a line drive right to DeRiggi. He caught it. He'll touch on the bag at first for a double play.
That's amazing how many ills can be cured by one properly positioned first baseman who's able to step on the bag, and all of a sudden a tough start to the inning. There's 2 away.
That's unfortunate for that runner there at first for Hull. He was just leaning. That got hit right to DeRiggi, and Hull had really taken off to second. Didn't see it get through, and so with 2 outs, here's Sawyer. He'll bat from the right side. First pitch outside from the Hawkeye right-handed pitcher.
He was pretty much always going to be in trouble. You take your secondary lead, and you're just not going to get back there.
Yeah, DeRiggi was about halfway, cut the distance between where he was and first base. 2-0 now to Sawyer after another fastball is outside.
Zach had usually a really strong control guy, just having a hard time finding a spot here.
2 balls, no strikes to the Peacock second baseman. This one's popped up shallow center. Huckstorf sprinting forward. So is Peterson. Peterson will call everybody off and make the catch on the run out there in right. So a leadoff walk, but then it turns into a 1-2-3 inning after the double play. Iowa holding Upper Iowa scoreless. Ben Wilmus, Keaton Anthony, Brennan DeRiggi. They'll be in the box for Iowa in the bottom half of the inning. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
We all love a good win, catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. But what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Bottom of the first inning in Iowa City, the Hawkeyes come into the plate. Ben Wilmus, he'll lead things off, followed by the designated hitter Keaton Anthony. Brennan DeRiggi over there at first. He'll bat third. He and Raider Tello flip-flop spots from the weekend. Tello bats in the cleanup spot. Sam Peterson's fifth. Kyle Huckstorf is batting sixth today. 7, 8, 9, Sam Honar, Michael Seegers, and Ben Tallman. On the flip side of things for Upper Iowa, they'll throw out a starting pitcher, Jason Jennerjohn, a right-hander.
Jennerjohn comes into the game 0-2 on the season in his 3 starts, 1964 ERA, 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 9 runs, 8 of those were earned, 7 walks and 1 strikeout. So he's had some control issues, and opponents are hitting .444 against him. So again, it'll be important for Iowa to kind of keep that plate discipline that they carried through the Nebraska series, where you don't swing at a lot of bad pitches, and then when you finally get the one you're looking for, to punish the pitcher and make him pay for coming in the strike zone.
Wilmus is in the box and ready for the first pitch from Jennerjohn. It's on the way home. Ben will take it for a strike on the outside corner. Obviously a lot of Iowa kids on the Upper Iowa roster. Jennerjohn, however, is from Hortonville, Wisconsin. His previous school was Eastern Illinois. Goes outside this time to Wilmus. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just missed with the breaking ball there.
Wilmus has really settled into the leadoff role. The 1-1 off the end of the bat, hit him in the hand. Ouch. Foul ball down the first baseline.
Yeah, I think Ben's going to try to sell the "it hit me."
And he is going to make that sale. He's been awarded first base.
So now we know who we need to make the sale we were talking about earlier.
Let's get Ben on the line. Call Penn State. Tell him that it's raining too much out there. We're going to play it here. See if he can get that sale too. That'll bring Jeremy Ishii, the head coach of Upper Iowa, out onto the diamond to talk with the home plate umpire. Back in my previous job, I worked for a live sports talk radio show with Gary Rima up at UNI back before I came back to Iowa City, and we had a segment. It was called Peacocks on Press Row on that local sports talk show, and we would have an Upper Iowa coach or staff member on our program every Wednesday. And I remember the first time I talked with Coach Ishii, he could have sold me to come play for him at Upper Iowa. A great young coach that had me ready to run through a brick wall for the Peacocks.
Love talking to coaches like that. That's Coach Brands has me thinking I could wrestle every time I talk to him, and there's no way in heck that would ever work out for me.
But hey, that belief is there, right?
Exactly.
Here's Keaton Anthony into the box now with Wilmus at first. Breaking ball is in the dirt. Keaton's on a tear lately. Had a little bit of a bad luck on Sunday. Didn't get a hit there, but it was incredible the days before that. 1-0 pitch to Keaton. That's downstairs, ball 2.
And probably a credit to both Keaton and the Iowa team in general, just that they were able to put up those runs with Keaton not getting a hit, but then he also took the walks when they were around.
This one skied in the air to the right side. This will get foul and out of play. 2-1 now.
He was intentionally walked a couple times, got hit by a pitch, but he didn't really go expanding the zone. He swung at the pitches he was supposed to be swinging at. He just didn't get a hit, and he didn't get a lot of good pitches. So
Jenner John will throw it over to first to check on Wilmus. He'll slide back safely. 2 balls and a strike with nobody out in the bottom of the first. Scoreless game right now between the Peacocks and Hawkeyes.
Ben's got a couple stolen bases.
2-1. Anthony flies this to right, over towards the line, into foul territory now. It'll get down, staying in the ballpark, but another foul ball over there to the right, 2-2.
Smart play by Ben there at first. I was wondering if he was going to do it. When it became clear it was going to be foul, he tracked back to first base so that just in case the right fielder caught it, he'd had a chance to tag up and go from first to second.
Jenner John comes set with the 2-2. He'll throw it over to first base where Zimmer picks it out of the dirt. Wilmus has got a great lead over there at first. Here comes the 2-2. Anthony lines it into left field. That's a base hit. Angling towards the corner. Wilmus rounding second, heading for third. The throw goes into second base. Keaton Anthony's on with a single and gets Wilmus all the way over to third.
Topspin single again, as you see a lot from Keaton. Well, you see a lot of topspin doubles, but you saw the topspin single that time as he hooked it out into left field and had tracked enough to the corner. Wilmus was able to get into second easily, into third easily, throw it into second to keep Keaton at first.
Iowa in business in the bottom half of the inning. Here's DeRiggi. First one to him, lined into the left center gap and down for a base hit. That'll score Wilmus. Anthony rounding second, headed for third. DeRiggi taking off for second base. He hits a double to bring home the first run of the game. Hawks lead 1-0.
Boy, it looked like he barely put a swing on that. And the exit velocity was 106 headed out there. He just lined it into the left center field gap, sliced it away from the center fielder. Easy double, and Keaton cruises into third.
First 3 batters have got on today for Iowa. Here comes Raider Tello. Upper Iowa with Carolina blue, baby blue tops. Peacock spelled out in white across the chest in script print. They've got white baseball pants, that peacock blue ball cap with a navy blue front bill, and the UIU logo, the UI logo on the front panel. Hawkeyes counter with all white uniforms, black script Iowa spelled out across the chest with gold trim, black numbers on the backside, white baseball pants, gold cleats for the Hawkeyes today. 0-1 is the count on Tello. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Raider watches this go by and hit off the plate, 1-1.
We had the Tello family in this weekend. They came in from the West Coast for our cold series. I think Raiders' dad's coming back in a week or so. Hopefully it'll be a little warmer when he treks back.
High chopper hit to the left side and foul 1-2. I think they'll be in town for the upcoming golf outing. It's coming up for the baseball team. A ball and 2 strikes for Tello. Nobody out. DeRiggi at second, Anthony at third. The pitch from Jennerjohn, lined foul and out of play over to the right side. Rader and DeRiggi flip-flop spots. Tello was in the 3 spot on Sunday.
Yeah,
he was in the 4 on Saturday and the 4 on Friday. So just a little mix-up there, and now back to kind of regularly scheduled programming, I guess. Pitch to Tello's inside, almost hit him. He turns away from it. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Yeah, Rader's been on kind of a little bit of a run. Got the average up to 311. On base percentage up over 400 as well. Got a little bit of trying to call timeout, but the home plate umpire is not seeing it right now.
Got the count. It should be 2-2. The scoreboard says 3-2.
All right, so
and now we're all clear. All right, 2-2.
And we've seen that. We saw the confusion that caused last weekend, and about got a runner picked off first base.
Yes. 2 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out. The pitch to Tello. Line drive right to the shortstop. It'll actually hop to him once. Shortstop throws it over to first to get Tello. That brings home Anthony. It's 2-0. Good play, though, from Hernser over to Zimmer.
Good scoop from Zimmer there as the throw kind of short hopped him. He was able to scoop it, get the out, but the Hawks are able to get their second run across.
So Anthony scores. DeRiggi had to stay put there at second. We'll see Sam Peterson in the box now. Jennerjohn's ready. First pitch to Petey. High fly ball to right. Right fielder Luzum is going back. He's got it in front of the track. DeRiggi tries to tag from second. The throw comes in. Brennan beats the throw to third, but not by much. That's a cannon out there by Luzum.
That was a heck of a good throw. Looked like it was just kind of drifting and was going to be an easy tag for somebody like DeRiggi. And the throw came in, and good thing he was hustling the whole way. Just wanted to touch base, too. You know, that was Tello's 32nd RBI, and when you look at it, there's 5 guys for Iowa that have now between 32 and 40 RBIs, which is kind of a testament to that.
Here's Huckstorf swinging at the first pitch. Diving play by the shortstop. He bobbled it, though. Huckstorf will get to first. DeRiggi will score on the backside. 3-0 here in the first. John, go ahead back with your original point there.
RBI number 39 for Huckstorf.
Yeah.
And again, it's just that the reason the Hawks are averaging 8+ runs a game isn't because, you know, Keaton Anthony's hitting 372. It's because they're getting production up and down the lineup, and a lot of guys are doing it on different days, which takes a load of pressure off.
Another one of those guys is Sam Honar. He's in the box right now, the Hawkeyes second baseman, in the 7 spot. Sam's average is 256, but he leads the team in RBIs.
Right, and that's what I'm not sure you think normally your 7 hitter is going to lead your team as Sam singles up the middle and Huck's going to head to third.
The inning continues as Honar hits that single on the ground past the second baseman. The 4th hit in the inning for Iowa. Hawks up 3-0. We'll see Seegers in the box now. I think when, preseason, during media day and all that, the pitching seemed to be a massive conversation point, and rightly so, but Iowa really felt confident that 1 through 9, they'd put together a really good lineup.
And this lineup's, it's certainly different than what they would have anticipated, especially now with Wilmus at the top and Seegers closer to the bottom. But Michael's done a great job down here. Drove in a couple runs Friday. Good block there from the catcher to keep the runner at third, but Honar goes to second. But, Wilmus has stepped up, done a nice job, really embraced the role, has, 473 on-base percentage. I suppose you had a couple newcomers. You thought DeRiggi and Tello would be it, but you didn't know exactly. But they've been every bit as good as they were advertised.
1-0 pitch to Seegers. That's down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Runners at second and third for Iowa in the bottom of the first. 2 outs. Hawks lead 3-0.
And you've had Keaton be Keaton. You've had Huck have some really good stretches and overall be good.
1-1 pitch. Michael with a line drive into the right center gap. It's down for a base hit. Huckstorf will score. Here comes Honar. He'll score 2. Seegers slides into second base with a 2-out double. Hawks lead at 5-0.
Good double there into the gap. I was kind of wondering if if Luzum was able to come up and throw, if we'd see it, but the center fielder kind of got in his way a little bit, and he had to throw it all the way over him. And Hawks have basically batted around here have batted around now in the first inning.
That'll bring up Ben Tallman. You'd kind of mentioned the possibility that Iowa could hit Jenner John. And so far, Iowa has put together 5 hits in the first inning against him. Tallman swings and misses at the first pitch. Ben is Iowa's catcher today. He's got a 158 average, but there's some pop in that bat. No balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. Seager's out there at second base. Here's the pause and the pitch. Off the end of the bat, hit down the first base line. It'll be grabbed by the pitcher. He bobbled it. No play. And Tallman is on.
I think Ben was going to have a chance to beat that out anyway. We'll see. Nope, they gave it an error. Thought maybe he'd be all right there. Didn't trust Tallman's wheels to get down the line. It's going to be a tough throw because it was right on the baseline.
Yeah.
So basically he was going to have to either throw it over or somehow around because he wasn't going to have time to clear himself. So
back to the top of the order now with Ben Wilmus. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. First pitch to Ben, ripped into left. That's a base hit. Seegers will score. Hawks lead at 6-0. Keeping things going in the first.
First pitch swinging there. Got a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And ripped it.
And brings home Michael. So now Tallman at second, Wilmus at first. And here's Keaton Anthony. He singled earlier. Iowa 6, Upper Iowa nothing here in the first. Some activity in the Peacock bullpen. First one to Anthony is low and out. Nice block by the catcher, Caden White.
And I wouldn't have expected Jenner John to go too long, but again, Upper Iowa's got a busy schedule, and as much as they want to put on a good show here, their conference schedule is more important to them than this is right now, and so you'll see kind of your mixture of arms today.
Nice pitch on the outside corner from Jenner John. It clips it. Anthony didn't swing at it. You look at Upper Iowa, they're 11-16 in their conference. So they've played a ton of conference games.
I'm seeing the same thing, 27 conference games already.
1-1 pitch to Anthony. That's in the dirt, ball 2.
Got to think maybe they just started their conference season earlier, and they're still going to kind of camp out at 30 or 30-some conference games total.
Two-one pitch to Keaton. That's outside low, ball 3.
Looks like Jenner John now is just trying to overthrow it a little bit as he spiked a couple of fastballs there in the dirt, trying to be a little too precise as the Hawkeye hitters have been able to get the better of him when he's come over the plate.
3-1 pitch to Anthony, up and in, almost hit him. It gets to the backstop. It'll be a walk, and so the bases will be loaded for Brennan Duriggia. I do need to correct a mistake that I made earlier. Upper Iowa was still in the Northern Sun. Coach Heller alluded to them moving conferences eventually. I thought they were already there. They've not moved conferences. I think in some other sports, Upper Iowa's in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, but not baseball. In baseball, they're still in the Northern Sun Conference. So they're playing teams like Minnesota Duluth, St. Cloud, Southwest Minnesota State, Minnesota Crookston, Minot State, okay? So Minnesota Mankato, teams like that. And, yeah, they've just been going round and round with those teams. And we got a mound visit for Upper Iowa right now with the bases loaded and 2 outs. They've got a 15-23 record, so that's 38 games, and 27 of them have been conference games. So early on they played McKendree, Purdue University Northwest, William Jewell, Truman State, Parkside. Those are all non-conference games for Upper Iowa. University of Mary was their first Northern Sun conference game, and that was back in the middle of March. So they started their season around the time we did. They started their season on February 25th.
I'd just like to circle around and play the conference.
Yeah, just hit them all. All right, Brennan Durigi's in the box. First pitch strike to him to start his at bat. He doubled in a run and then later scored. Bases loaded for him with 2 outs. The pitch, high and out, ball 1. Hawks lead 6-0 in the first. Jennerjohn comes set with the 1-1. Here's the pitch. It's outside, ball 2.
He's done it kind of in, Hawks have done a good job, really haven't taken a ton of pitches, talked about maybe walked a lot of guys, but when he's come across the plate, Iowa just hasn't made any mistakes, and they were kind of swinging right from the get-go.
It's a good sharp breaking ball, but it's low and in, ball 3. Like we said, there's some activity in the upper Iowa bullpen. They've got somebody throwing down there. 3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch to Durigi. That's a called strike on the inside corner. Full count now. Runners will be moving on the pitch.
Might have stretched the strike zone a little. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's all right. I think we stretched on strike 1, too. So.
Yeah, a couple of them low and in. Here's a pitch that's in the dirt, and that's ball 4. Durigi will walk. And Tallman scores on the bases loaded walk. It's now 7-0.
I think a good smart play there from Wilmus, and in a different situation in the game, or a different situation, he might have been able to press it and see if he could score there. But in this circumstance, there's no reason to do that.
Right.
As Jennerjohn didn't go cover home plate on his pitch skipped away.
And now he's starting to miss low, right, where he's missing over the plate and giving the Hawks a few pitches to hit early on. He's walked back-to-back Hawkeyes now. Tello in the box. The 1-0 to him is low and out, ball 2.
Yeah, and I really think your goal here as a coaching staff for Upper Iowa is just give me another strike so that let's see if we can help you out with an out here, and let's get you out of this inning clean, and we'll start over next inning.
2-0 pitch. There it is on the outside corner, 2-1. Comes in with 87 miles an hour, low and out corner, not a bad pitch.
He's got a good fastball. He's popped it in there nicely a couple times. He just hasn't been able to really command it. Like I said, there's a couple times look like he overthrows it and just kind of spikes it a little bit.
That one's low, ball 3.
Just hasn't really found that consistency of, kind of a smoothness of motion of just here's what I'm trying to accomplish and knocking it out time after time.
3-1 pitch. Tello swings and fouls it back into the glove of the catcher. Full count now. He really likes that low and out corner in the strike zone.
Jennerjohn or Tello?
Well, Jennerjohn, yeah. He's really hammering it. Those are the last 4 pitches that have been strikes have been down there. Here comes the 3-2. That's low and out, ball 4. When I had too much break on it and fell off, Hawks up 8-0 on another bases loaded walk.
Well, the hard part is when you haven't thrown a breaking ball for a strike, Iowa's done a really good job of identifying that, and we'll get the pitching change here now.
All right, Hawks lead at 8-0 in the bottom of the first. 2 outs. Bases will be loaded for Sam Peterson. He'll take on a new Upper Iowa pitcher. We'll take a pitching change break. When we come back, we'll give you the stats on the new Peacock pitcher. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
At US Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever. Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to us mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
All right, new pitcher into the game for Upper Iowa. The Hawkeyes leading 8-0 in the first. They'll go with a right-hander, Landon Stoppelmoor.
Stoppelmoor's making his third appearance of the season. He's 0-1. Be looking for his first out of the season. Hasn't given up a hit. Given up 6 runs, though. 4 of those were earned. Walked 6. Wild pitch and a hit batter. So just trying to get out of this inning and see what happens after that.
We got 2 outs through 5 Hawkeye hitters, but since then it's been a single, a double, reaching on an error, single, walk. So at the beginning it looked okay. The Hawks had pushed off a couple of runs, but then Iowa's really made them pay and stuck with it.
Well, yeah, we obviously talk about it a lot with you can live with the hits through the middle. You really hate the walk part to finish his day.
Here's Peterson, takes a fastball outside. Sam lined out to right earlier in the inning.
Advanced DeRiggi from second to third.
He drives this one deep to left, carrying well. Get going, baby. It is gone. Sam Peterson, grand slam. Boom.
Welcome back, Petey, as he hits you felt like he's been looking for that one for a while. He sends one 105 off the bat, and it carries over the left field wall, 369. And the Hawkeyes have added to the pain right now.
Hawks have put up a dozen now in the first inning. It's 12-0. Here's Huckstorf. Stoppelmoor's first pitch is fouled back to the screen. Kyle's taken a couple of healthy cuts today. Singled in a run, later scored earlier in the inning.
Yeah, infield single up the middle. Shortstop couldn't make a play.
Good breaking ball in the outside corner. 0-2 now for Huckstorf in the box.
See if Kyle, this is kind of the spot where you hope Kyle keeps working and tries to kind of refine his groove a little bit.
This is in the dirt. Kyle takes off that. You look at Huckstorf in the box, really choked up. I don't know if we've seen him that choked up before. I guess his hands come down a little bit now with him pulling it up over his head. Here comes the 1-2. Ground ball left side through. Base hit for Huckstorf, his second of the day.
Good job there from Kyle. Behind in the count, stuck with it though. Got a fastball up in the zone there, turned on it and rolled it in the short third hole.
Still rolling in the first. Iowa 12, Upper Iowa 0. 2 outs. Here's Honar. The pitch to Sam. Inside corner, called strike.
My wife was making the play on words with the first Upper Iowa pitcher's name. I didn't realize Jenner John. So it's her or me.
A 1 pitch to Honar's low and in. They'll try a pickoff move to first on the backside. Not in time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good skip there from Honar to get out of the way of that pitch, and then good hustle back from Huckstorf to get back to first.
Either or for your wife, huh?
That's what she said, but I had to spell it out for her that it wasn't exactly Jen or John. It was Jenner John.
1-1 is lifted in the air to center. Hull moving over to the gap in left center now. He'll reach up and grab it for the third out. Iowa scores 12 in the first, leading the Peacocks 12-0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakmall.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. They've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Iowa. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Zach Volker back to the mound for the second inning. He'll face 4, 5, 6, Zimmer, Plaz, and Green of the Peacocks. As Zimmer will lead things off, he's stepping into the box now.
You talk about a couple long innings that Marcus Morgan sat for. First pitch of this game was 4:05, and Zach Volker comes out to throw the first pitch of the second inning at 4:40. So
we noted, what day was it? I think it might have been Friday. We got through the first 3 innings within 30 minutes. Wasn't that it? 40 minutes?
No, not Friday. It was Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah. Because
you're right. It was Saturday.
Control issue on Friday.
Yes. First pitch strike from Volker. You're right. It was Saturday that Morgan and Nebraska's pitcher were out there just zipping it in there. 0-1 pitch to Brock Zimmer is hit foul to the right side and out of play.
I saw a stat from Kyle, too, about this weekend. You know, Iowa starters went 17 innings, and Nebraska's went, I think it was 6 or somewhere in that number. It wasn't very many.
0-2 is low and out, ball 1.
Kind of where Iowa was able to dominate the series and do a good job, again, with the plan on the hitting side, and pitching just got better as the weekend went along, which is not usually the way it works, that you get better from Friday, Saturday to Sunday.
That was maybe the most underrated feature of the weekend, as the 1-2 is lined into center right to Kyle Huckstorf. He goes back a couple of steps late and makes the grab for the first out. I think that might have been the most underrated feature of the weekend, was that we didn't just get their starter out early in one of the games. We got him out in all 3.
Right. If I remember right, I think Emmett Olson lasted the longest at 2 1/3. You know, so their Friday starter lasted the most, but then, you know, got good quick chases in the other 2 as well. So just a good job all the way around, as that one misses low. But, you know, again, stuck to the plan, and obviously the quality is a little bit different today, but what you saw there in the first inning.
Well, the Peacocks have their first hit of the day as Victor Plaz lines one into center.
You know, what you saw there in the first inning with Iowa being very disciplined at the plate, you know, going up there with a plan, recognizing pitches early, seeing what they were, spitting on the stuff that they didn't want to swing at, but then when there was a mistake made in the zone, they really punished it, when they end up with 3 extra base hits in the inning, including the grand slam.
Mm-hmm. Next batter for the Peacocks is Alex Green. He's their designated hitter, right-handed hitter. And he's a specimen in the box. Tall, athletic build. 1-0 pitch outside, gets away from Tallman. Runner will go to second base. Fastball that was middle out just popped out of the mitt of Ben.
Green has limited at-bats this year, just 14 games, but hitting .260, 3 home runs, slugging .540, which looks to be one of the team leaders there.
It's a junior from Marion, played his high school ball at Linn-Mar. Takes this one inside, ball 3 from Volker. 1 out in the second, runner at second base for Upper Iowa is Plaz. Iowa leading 12-0.
3 walks though and 18 strikeouts. You know, Zach's got to come back to the zone here and attack the hitter.
Here's one right down Main Street. That's a called strike, 3-1. Volker had not had any walks until I think it was the Texas Tech series.
Correct.
Very, very late. He made it through the first 3 weekends without issuing a walk. Volker comes set with the 3-1. Here it is. Bloop to the right side, right to DeRiggi. In the air, he'll catch it for the second out.
Double play streak's broken already.
Yeah.
Thought we had a chance there.
Shortstop number 4, Kyle.
Had one in the first with the line drive to Iowa's first baseman, but runner at second and 2 down. Kyle Herntzer. First one from Volker drops in for a strike. Herntzer is from Farmington, Minnesota. He's a freshman. 6'5". Tall drink of water in the box.
That's a big shortstop.
Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, ball 1.
Yeah.
These back-to-back hitters now for Upper Iowa that are tall, athletic kids. For a shortstop, that can be kind of tough, don't you think, being that tall?
I would think so. To show range. You think about it more of a quickness and being able to move and of course being quick on your feet.
Here's Volker's 1-1 into the gap in right center. Peterson shades over, looks up, and he's got it for the third out of the inning. The Hawks hold the Peacocks scoreless. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. Iowa 12, Upper Iowa nothing. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Bottom of the second inning, Iowa 12, Upper Iowa nothing. Seegers, Tallman, and Wilmus scheduled to be due up for the black and gold in this inning. Same pitcher in there for Upper Iowa with Stoppelmore. Iowa jumped on Upper Iowa with 12 runs in the first inning. Almost batted through twice.
16 guys to the plate.
Yep. Seegers had a big-time double that brought home 2 runs. And he'll stand into the box to lead things off here in the second. Stoppelmore is a right-handed pitcher, only out of the stretch, and deals a fastball strike for Seegers on the inside corner.
Talked to Michael before the game just about misses high, about the error he made on Sunday where he just couldn't get it. When we were just talking about it, he said, did you get it? And then the next one you got underneath it, and he said he just felt like maybe his glove scooped the grass, and so when he tried to scoop it up, it just kind of stayed flat, wouldn't come up. And of course he made up for it later with the spinning play up the middle. The funny thing was, the one thing he mentioned about that play was he said, did you notice Tello diving behind me?
No, I didn't notice it.
Because Rader was in the shift and was actually then ended up diving and sliding on his belly behind him.
Oh, that's great. We're going to have to go back and watch that. 3 balls and a strike for Michael in the box.
So yeah, it wasn't, hey, look at my play. It was, did you see what Rader did behind me?
You're going to have me going back and looking at that. Tried our best to get Michael on the top 10 plays. I don't know that he made the cut. It was certainly a spectacular play from Seegers. The play in the hole and then spin, throw, good, accurate toss over to Derigi. For now, Seegers walks to start the bottom of the second.
Again, that was one of the things, just another phase of the Iowa game over the weekend that was well above average. The fielding was good, even strike on the low outside corner. Even though there was an error or two on the weekend, there were a lot of really good defensive plays, and they came at good times. Times when you really needed to make a play, they were able to do it.
No balls and a strike to Tallman. The pitch, outside corner again, 0-2 now. I think of the diving play by Huck in the outfield, a sliding play coming forward by Wilmus, one by Tello over in foul territory down the third baseline. Obviously the ground balls, a couple of double plays here and there. 0-2 to Tallman, the pitch, swing and a miss. Ben is out number 1. It just felt like the entire weekend was a complete performance. You go back to the Indiana game, the Indiana series. I thought that was a really well-played series for the Hawks. Just maybe offensively, the bats were a bit cold that weekend, but really that was a good college baseball series.
Absolutely.
Coy Sarsfield, he's the batter now for the Hawkeyes, entering for Ben Wilmus. Sarsfield, the redshirt freshman from Marion. He'll be into the outfield now. 1 ball, no strikes to Coy. Here's the pitch, up and in, ball 2.
Nice to get Coy out on the field and get him some extended time, but going back to your Indiana point, you're exactly right. I mean, obviously, if you're an Iowa fan, you wanted to win at least 1 or 2 more of those games, but just from a pure baseball standpoint, really good games, all competitive. Relatively, they were all well pitched. Iowa got a few runs on Friday, but still wasn't that Indiana was pitching poorly. Iowa bats just performed on Friday.
3-0 pitch to Sarsfield is outside for ball 4. So Coy is on, and that'll bring up Garrett Christensen instead of Keaton Anthony. So Christensen into the game. You just kind of do a little season recap for Iowa. You go back to the series before that, our first one, a Big Ten play with Maryland. That was just kind of a high-scoring type of series. The wind was blowing out basically on all the games, especially that Friday one. And they come in and take 2 out of 3 from us. We've been playing a lot better since then, though. But even that one was a competitive series.
Well, Iowa led or was tied in the 7th inning of all 3 of those games, and only got 1. And then you go to the Indiana series, and it was kind of the same thing. Iowa wins on Friday. You get a pitcher's duel that goes 0-0 into the 10th, and then you get the Sunday game, which I can't remember the exact score, but I think it was 2-1 late-ish in that game, and Iowa gave up the lead. I think it gave up maybe 3 in the 8th. Maybe 7th, but in any event, Indiana comes back late to win, which is uncharacteristic for Iowa usually. And then now you're starting to see those pieces fall back into place, and gives a good chance for Iowa to make a lengthy run.
Christensen in the box. He's worked a 2-1 count. Iowa 7-5 in the Big Ten, and I think safe to say the only, I don't know how to say this, I guess, but the only loss where you felt like you just weren't really in it was the Minnesota one. And even though that started out okay in the beginning, the first couple innings, all the other ones felt like they could have gone either way. Both of the Maryland ones and both the Indiana losses.
Yeah, all 4 of those games were coin flip games that you kind of let get away. I say let get away like the other team wasn't trying.
The other team certainly earned it. It's just, with the late lead, is unfortunate and could have gone our way too.
Yeah, you'd like to think that you close, 1 or 2 of those out on, if not more, on some regular occasion. But it just didn't work out this time. And again, the other team did what they were supposed to do. They walk out there and they're not just, oh, you're ahead, it's over. Mm-hmm. That's not quite the way it works.
2-2 to Christensen is low and in, ball 3, full count now.
And so, just kind of a nice to work it out, and Iowa's been able to kind of survive that and learn from that. And I think now what you've seen from some of the bullpen struggles, high and away, ball 4. What you saw from some of the bullpen struggles was, the emergence of Jack Whitlock and the emergence of Savory, the guys that, weren't in the initial plans at the beginning of the year, but started to get a chance. And now all of a sudden, they've put a stamp on, hey, this is my role too. You're gonna need to look at me, which will serve Iowa well.
That's a great point. You go through a few of those struggles to kind of find out what you're made of. Here's DeRiggi in the box. Fastball outside. Bases loaded with 1 out in the second. Iowa 12-0 over Upper Iowa. It almost forced Iowa's hand, right, to think about some changes from the pitching standpoint. Wrestled with the rotation for a little bit, who you call in first, things along those lines.
Well, early in the season, it worked out almost too smoothly. It was like, okay, here's our 6 guys, and we're just going to keep rolling with them. And you didn't quite know necessarily what you had beyond that. You had some unproven arms and guys that hadn't been on the mound. And when some of those 6 started to struggle a little bit, you started juggling pieces around, and then some of your other bullpen guys maybe that you thought you were going to count on just had a spell. Mm-hmm. Which happens, it's a 56-game season. You're not going to bring your A+ game every day. So, you can bring A+ effort, but that you're not going to get A+ results all the time. And so, it was just good to see some of the extra guys stepping up.
3-1 pitch is flared down the line and left. That will get down for a base hit. 1 run is in. They'll hold Sarsfield at third base, and it's 13-0 on the RBI single from Brennan DeRiggi.
And so now you get to a point where Big Ten tournament rolls around, and you've got a lot of guys you can trust to give that ball, late in the week in an elimination game and say, hey, I need you to go get 9 outs for me. I need you to go get 12 outs for me, whether it's the beginning of the game, somewhere in the middle. And, you didn't know that about Aaron Savory before that. Now you do.
And Savory was a guy at the beginning of the year that didn't make every road trip, didn't travel early on, and he worked on it. Same with Chaz Wheatley, as Tello drives this in the air to right, gets caught up in the sky, and Tello flies out. Sarsfield will tag and score from third. DeRiggi trying to get from first to second, and he's out at second base. The throw came into third. Good play by Plaz to throw it over to second and get DeRiggi. But Sarsfield scores, and Seegers scores. We're through 2 in Iowa City. Hawks up 14-0. This is Iowa baseball from Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
At MidAmerican Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of MidAmerican Energy.
John Evans and John Leo in the broadcast booth at Duane Banks Field this afternoon. Hawks up on Upper Iowa 14-0. We'll bring in Jared Simpson. We'll get you his stats in just a second. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye baseball. ton of other defensive changes for the Hawkeyes. We'll start things off with the redshirt senior left-handed pitcher from Clinton coming into the game, Jared Simpson.
Jerry's 4-1 on the year, 14th appearance, 5.93 ERA, 30 in the third innings, 25 hits, 20 runs. They've all been earned, 16 walks, and an impressive 46 strikeouts. His opponent's hitting just .223 against Jared.
He was in during the Nebraska series.
Finished up the Sunday game, came in, actually finished it up because Christo pitched the 8th and Jared came in and pitched the 9th.
So short turnaround for Simpson. He didn't throw too much on Sunday, and so able to get him going. Probably gonna have to lean on him a little bit this weekend at Penn State.
I would think you'd want to be prepared, and these relievers are kind of all wired to throw every other day. They're not looking to throw 50, 60 pitches every outing, but Jerry ended up with when he got the double play ball up the middle that Gable Mitchell started the turn to finish the game. He only threw 12, 13 pitches, and so didn't get a ton of work there. And so now he'll come out and basically be another what you'd call a bullpen day anyway. And so good to go. You just want him to throw strikes and get on with it.
Good start against Caden White, their catcher. A swing and a foul tip into the glove of Ben Tallman, who is in the game catching. Christensen entered, but in the DH spot for Keaton Anthony. We're in the top of the third, Iowa 14-0. Pitch from Simpson. Fouled back to the screen to the right side, 0-2 now.
Yeah, you've got Blake Guerin now at first. You've got Coy out and left, I think. Yeah, he stayed in left field. So those are your two defensive changes that way. And then to your point, Christensen's in the DH slot.
0-2 pitch is high and out, ball one. Also had noticed Braden Frazier was in the on-deck circle for a second, I think. But I don't see him out there defensively yet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Simpson's pitch on its way home. Hit foul to the right side. That would have been for Peterson. I'm not sure if Petey would come out of the game that soon, would it? Would he?
I bet so. I mean, especially coming back from the injury, too. I mean, you got him. I mean, actually, you've seen enough at-bats at this point already.
Sure. See if Frazier does come in to lead off the Hawkeye third. Nice pitch there from Simpson. A swing and a miss. Got him to go after the slider.
I mean, at this point, you're likely talking about playing a 7-inning game, and so it's you want to get some guys into the game and get them into the field and get an opportunity to get them out there as well.
Yeah, the run rule is in effect today. 10 runs after 7 innings. Iowa's got enough for it right now if they hold the Peacocks to 4 or less. First pitch strike to Bryce Hall. He's at the bottom of their order, sophomore outfielder.
He's an interesting stat line for your number 9 hitter. On-base percentage is .428, 28 walks, leads the team by more than double, at least of the starting lineup today. Has struck out 36 times, but 3 home runs and 259 batting average. It's then scored 32 runs. So my guess is he doesn't camp down at this number 9 spot.
No.
Every game.
I think you're onto something there. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch is outside, ball 2. Hall is a sophomore from Southeast Warren High School. 2 balls and a strike. I can see how he would maybe draw a few hit by pitches as well. Drawing 5. He stands really close to the box, really close to the plate, rather. 2-1 pitch. That's outside, ball 3 from Simpson. I think Simpson threw that one inside on him. Now he's gone outside on back-to-back.
He's got a little bit of an open stance, so maybe he can bail quick. But we see a lot of guys, and not the biggest guy either. So
this is hit on the ground to the right side. Guerin dives for it. He'll throw to first base. Simpson's a bit late on the coverage, and so Hall beats it out. And he's got an infield single.
Yeah, Jared got caught watching there as Guerin shows a ton of range over there at first base. And I'm not sure where Honar had him played, but maybe that's one of those where Guerin could go back to the bag instead, but in any event, Simpson's got to be, any ball hit over there, he's got to be moving toward first, and by the time he realized that he was not going to beat Hall over there.
Back to the top of the order for the Peacocks with Hull, so they go from Hall to Hull. First pitch from Simpson is outside for a ball. He walked to lead off today's game. He's at the top of their team in batting average with .331. He's got 3 home runs, 5 doubles for the Peacocks center fielder. 1-0 pitch from Simpson, inside corner, called strike. See if there's any speed over there for.
Got 3 stolen bases in 4 tries, so not too bad. Here's your speed guy, though.
Yes. Hull's got 12 stolen bases on the season. Check on the runner at first. Just a bit of a lazy lob over there from Simpson, nothing too serious.
We've seen those lazy lobs bite Hawkeye pitchers before,
yes.
Those, so.
A ball and a strike to the leadoff hitter for Upper Iowa. Another throw over to first. Guerin will snap it back to him.
Less lazy of a lob, though.
A little bit. That one had a little bit more zip on it. Simpson comes set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle and through into center field. A base hit for Ryan Hull. And the Peacocks have 2 on in the third.
Good piece of hitting there. Just stuck with it. Grounded it right back up the middle. Honar had him shaded kind of to a more normal second base spot and wasn't able to get over there.
That'll bring up Cale Luzum. He's their right fielder. He smacked one foul in his first at bat. Down the line and right, made really good contact off of Volker, but would eventually line out into a double play to DeRiggi.
He's got 13 extra base hits on the year.
First pitch fastball, called a strike on the outside corner from Simpson. Good start from Jared.
He probably hasn't faced as many tough lefties as he's facing right here as he gets in there as a left-handed hitter.
This lefty on lefty matchup not friendly for hitters. Simpson's 0-1. Fastball just off the plate outside, 1-1. Hasn't thrown that slider, I guess. He started him with a couple of fastballs. Think that slider's coming, John?
He probably tried to set it up here. He'll kind of start it in on the outer part of the plate and maybe snap it off there.
The 1-1. Ground ball up the middle over Simpson's head. Seegers charges in front of the bag, throws it over to first for the out. So we lose him at first, but they advance their runners to second and third with 2 down.
Good play there by Seegers to not try to do too much with it. He was really kind of stuck. No way to go back to second. Just make sure you get the out and move on to get another hitter and get out of the inning.
The batter is Sawyer. Flied out to right. Back in the first. He's got a couple in scoring position for the Peacocks. First one from Simpson. Line drive, foul ball.
Thank you, netting.
Yes, that was a sharply hit liner. No balls and a strike.
And Sawyer looks to be the team leader in RBIs there. 33.
He's a native of Colgate, Wisconsin. 0-1 pitch inside, almost hit him. Not sure how it didn't. Ball 1.
What kind of ninja magic was that to not get hit by that pitch?
That one went right through a belt loop.
93-mile-an-hour fastball.
I'll just back him off so he's got more room to throw that slider, I guess, huh?
Guess so. You can backdoor here.
Yeah, he went with it, and it was low, too, and he swung at it, 1-2.
Well, at that point, once you threaten me with that, I'm going to try to get out of the box as fast as I can. Good crowd around today. We're not packed in the bleachers. We've got a good crowd down first base and pretty reasonable down third as well.
A lot of support on both sides. 1-2 pitch, hit foul, and out of play over the Iowa dugout. Most of the seats with the seat backs on them are occupied by Upper Iowa fans down and to our left. Iowa fans sitting in the sun down the first base side.
Trained professionals.
Yes. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, chased a high fastball, and down goes Sawyer for the third out. Peacock strand 2 in scoring position, Iowa 14, Upper Iowa nothing. We're back for the bottom of the third right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities. For award-winning claims and sales service, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Bottom of the third inning in Iowa City, Hawks up 14-0. And we'll send Braden Frazier into the box first. Will Mulfler will follow. Sam Honar would be due up. We'll see how long before we turn things over to Gable Mitchell here in the third.
I would guess that'll be again a good opportunity. You know, likely playing with 12 outs at this point on the defensive side, and I guess the same on the offensive side here. So try to get some new faces in, some of the guys that have worked hard all year and maybe haven't gotten many at bats, just a sprinkle here or there to get an opportunity to get them out there a little bit longer than normal.
So it is Frazier to lead off the inning. Takes a fastball up and in for ball one. Frazier's one of the team captains. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball up and in, ball two.
I was looking at the Upper Iowa roster. He's probably got maybe they didn't quite run across each other. Dylan McVeigh is on the Upper Iowa roster. He's a sophomore from Jefferson, but probably it'd be close. Maybe a senior freshman sort of thing. I'm not 100% sure when Frazier was out of high school. He's been here a little bit of time. Takes ball four low there and heads on down to first.
So Frazier is on.
You were right about Gable Mitchell as well.
Well, just kind of had that feeling, didn't it, right? That
sure would seem that way.
Yeah. So we'll see Mulfler now, so that means Huckstorf is out.
It'll be interesting, too, to see if maybe you see Ben Swales. If he gets in, he gets a chance to come in for Tello.
Yeah, see what other depth is on that infield, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, you got guys that practice all the time, don't get to travel, but here for the home game, they might get a chance to play.
First pitch to Mulfler is a fastball. It's called a strike. High portion of the plate.
Speaking of guys we haven't seen, we've talked a little bit about Chase Mosley in recent weeks. Saw him today. He was dressed, obviously not going to play today, but good to see him back on the field. Misses low and away, starting to do some things and getting out a little bit more, and at least you feel like he's that much closer to being able to participate and contribute.
Doesn't have any restrictive brace or anything on a leg I didn't see.
No, and seems to be walking well, but there's a long line between walking well and sprinting and starting and stopping. So
1 ball and 2 strikes to Mulfler. The pitch on its way home, breaking ball up and in, ball two.
Of course, every day that we seem to have played has been cold, which is kind of the day he left the game was one of those frigid cold days when he tried to really accelerate and get to third. So just hasn't been able to catch a break to be able to help warm up and stretch out.
2-2's outside, full count. Now, I think you and I have come to be somewhat conditioned to the cold. I started wearing layers this last weekend where I thought I could tough it out in some games before, but not possible. 3-2, poked high and foul down the left field line. Wow, Mulfler really got around on that one. It's kind of one-handed swing at it.
Yeah, inside pitch that he swung around on and got a lot of barrel on it, but had no chance of keeping that thing fair.
Another full count pitch on its way home. Ground ball left side. And gloved by Plaz. He'll throw it to second for one. Late throw over to first. Mulfler will beat that out, but they get the lead runner in Frazier at second base. One down in the Hawkeye third.
Will be Gable Mitchell. Will be a new pitcher. Well, maybe. Nope. He came out with both hands. Calm down, everybody. It's all right. I'm just going to chat with him for a second.
Well, it was a charade because Coach Ishii does point down the left field line. There'll be a new pitcher into the game for Upper Iowa. He's hustling in to take the ball from his head coach. Bottom of the third, Iowa 14, Upper Iowa nothing. We're back after this pitching change break. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Mid-American Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Upper Iowa's new pitcher into the game is a left-handed pitcher, Brennan Seifert, 5'9" junior from New Market, Iowa, attended Bedford High School. Seifert making his 10th appearance with a 7.50 ERA. He's only thrown 6 innings on the season, given up 8 hits, 5 earned runs. He's walked 6, struck out 3, given up 1 home run, 1 double. Opponents are hitting .308 against Seifert, who's into the game.
My apologies. I left you hanging there. The Beckers, the 2 volleyball assistant coaches, one new, one not so new. Had to go say hi to them.
Yes, make your rounds. There's a lot of familiar faces in the crowd today. One thing we were talking about, John, is the first pitch from Seifert to switch hitting Gable Mitchell is high and out. Mitchell will bat from the right side.
Had to flip over.
Yes. Stepped in from the left, and then the pitching change forces Gable to go to the other box. I don't know if I've seen Mitchell swing it from the right side this season. I'm trying to think back.
He's had it at bat. I can't remember. I don't particularly remember what he's done, but I know he's been there. It's relatively infrequent.
2 balls, no strikes to him. 1 out, runner at first. This one is high and out. Again, ball 3. We were talking about the support from sport to sport.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of track and field athletes here. I see a lot of soccer athletes here. We've seen volleyball athletes here. Football's got a good group here today to support Cade after Cade McNamara threw out today's first pitch. So that's a common theme here at Iowa as Mitchell draws the 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and we've seen it a lot with crummy weather this year, and so you get a nice day. Obviously the Connor McCaffrey over there, and you've just got a good contingent, and that's a lot of fun when you see them go sport to sport and showing that support. They hang out with each other. They kind of have to, they know the rigors that they're all going through, and so it's just pretty neat to see that.
Iowa leading 14-0 this afternoon. In the bottom of the third, here's Seegers. First pitch strike to him. Second one on the way. Another strike. That's a good slider that comes in the back door from Seifert. 0-2.
This probably qualifies as the crafty left-hander.
Yes, I think so. A little bit shorter in stature, and any left-hander, I think, that throws a filthy slider as this one's hit on the ground to short. Gloved there, thrown to second for one, on to first, and that is not quite double trouble. Seegers will beat it out. And Mitchell is out at second. Runners at the corners.
Catcher, Ben Tallman.
I'll bring up Tallman.
Iowa was, Sam sent us the record for most runs scored in an inning for the Hawkeyes. Is obviously 12. 12 is a pretty darn good inning, but
yeah.
Iowa did score 15 against UNI back in the, it was in the fourth inning back in 1985.
1985. So
if we start
I'm going to try to do it. 38?
15 and 23, yeah, that'd make 38.
38 years ago. 1985, good year in Iowa athletics history.
I thought you were going to start running up something on my age, and I'm like, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
I might have created the door. You don't need to open it and walk through it, John.
Yeah, that was a pretty good football season that year.
2 balls, no strikes to Tallman. Seifert will send one over to first to check on Seegers and keep him close.
Yeah, when you watch highlights from the number 1, number 2 Michigan game, it's just the television coverage.
Yes.
It's just so funny to think, to watch it back then versus how big the productions are now.
How they didn't have a running score bug all the time, that would drive me crazy. That'd put a lot of pressure on the play-by-play announcers, John. You got to tell time and score often. That's the first thing I learned from Gary Rima back in the day when I underwent my training. Time and score, down and distance when it comes to football. Just hammer it home.
Yeah, just a much different experience now. Ooh, big swing there from Tallman with a miss. But yeah, with especially on TV now, obviously us doing it on the radio for the most part, it's a little bit different for without having the ticker anyway. You've got to kind of help out that way, but certainly different.
3-2 pitch is outside to Tallman, and he'll walk, and the bases will be loaded for Iowa in the bottom of the third and bring up Coy Sarsfield.
But yeah, with TV now, you can almost get away with what we're doing now. You get a little off track and kind of wander because the game is being projected there for you, and it's a little bit easier. But I was just thinking when Petey hit the grand slam earlier, I was just trying to think that was new. Iowa's had quite a few of them, but he hadn't had one this year.
Yeah, I thought
I think that's right. I couldn't remember for sure.
We did this a couple weeks ago, didn't we? Where we tried to count how many grand slams Iowa's hit. I think he might have had one. We're going to have to triple check, I guess, with Sammy B over there. Maybe check our game notes. This one to Sarsfield's inside, ball 2.
Because Sarsfield hasn't hit one.
I know that. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, we're pretty sure about that. I feel like Peterson might have hit one.
I'm reading game notes here. We'll get her figured out.
We'll see what Coy can do in the box now. 2-0 pitch to Coy. Popped up, shallow center. Shortstop Hernser will go back. It'll be the second baseman that'll make the catch. That's Sawyer. Iowa will leave the bases loaded in the third, leading 14-0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. But what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately. Then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Top of the fourth inning in Iowa City, Iowa 14, Upper Iowa nothing. A couple of defensive changes we'll get to in a second, but for now, we'll go with a new pitcher. We'll start with the new pitcher into the game. It's Nick Gattilla, the junior left-hander from Davenport.
Oh, I got to dig out the paper. I was slacking in my duties, looking up the other stuff. 1-1 on the season. Appearance number 12, 3.38 ERA, 13 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs. Only 5 of those were earned. 11 walks and 13 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 184 against Nick.
Nick's in a position here to have a get-right opportunity. Struggled his last time out. It had done an okay job the first couple of outs in that inning, but ended up struggling a bit towards the end. That game at UIC, I believe.
Yep.
And so a chance for Nick to get back on track. He'll face 4, 5, 6, Zimmer, Plaz, and Green. Zimmer's a right-handed hitter. First one from Gattilla is a strike on the outside corner. A lot of Hawkeye fans chiming in, telling us where they're listening from. Mike is listening to Hawkeye and Peacock baseball today on his way home from Ankeny, as this one's driven to right towards the line. Sarsfield is over, and he's got it as he crashes into the wall. Coy makes the catch, 1 down.
Nice catch there. Nice track down from Sarsfield in foul ground.
So a couple of those changes. Sarsfield went from left to right. Braden Frazier's in center field now. Molfler is in left.
And we did confirm that Sam Peterson did hit the home run again, the grand slam home run against St. Thomas earlier in the season. So that's grand slam number 2.
This one's popped up, shallow center. Frazier comes forward near the beak of the Tiger Hawk, and he's got it for the second out. So a couple of quick outs for Nick Gattilla on the mound for the Hawkeyes.
Good quick work from Nick. And again, doing what you really want to see him do. Coming in, throwing strikes, trying to dominate the zone a little bit, and just coming right after it.
That'll bring up Alex Green. He's our designated hitter. Another right-handed hitter. Gattilla's ready. The first pitch to him is low and in, ball 1. Green today is 0 for 1. He popped up to Derigi at first. Here comes the 1-0 from Nick. That's high and out, ball 2. Really sped up his motion there. Dual fan, the Hawkeyes and Peacocks, Warren. Warren is listening in. Warren recently became a grandfather. Congratulations to him. Thanks for listening to Hawkeye Baseball today. 2 balls and a strike to Green. We've got a lot of Iowa fans that are also Upper Iowa fans, a lot of Upper Iowa fans that are also Iowa fans, and there are plenty of them in the crowd today. We mentioned earlier quite a few folks in the stands with an Upper Iowa sweatshirt on, but wearing an Iowa ball cap, or even the other way around with the Iowa sweatshirt and the baby blue, peacock blue cap.
Well, you've got quite a few Upper Iowa fans in the Iowa dugout as well.
So I'm sure, yeah, that's a good point.
I think it starts from there and stretches right out.
3 balls, 2 strikes from Gattilla to Green in the top of the 4th. The windup and the pitch. Outside, ball 4, Gattilla lost him. He gets the first 2 outs. Can't quite get the third yet. It'll bring up Hernser now.
Well, I was looking for.
We might have a change. Hold on a second. No, it's still going to be Hernser. We're going to have a pinch runner into the game. A freshman, Mike Gentile. He'll go into the game.
I was just, when I was looking at Petey's to see if he'd had the grand slam. It's an interesting thing with Petey. Last year, 7 doubles, 6 home runs, hit 264 in 49 games. This year already now in 26 games, started 28 games, he has 7 doubles and 6 home runs. So it has that same number, but hitting 333 on the season. So
isn't that remarkable? Just as a sophomore too, it feels like Peterson's been here for longer than that, right? It feels like he's been a staple for so long, but it's just year 2 for him.
Just year 2, and Boy, he's got if he takes another step forward like that, gets the swing and a miss there, I mean, he's got a real chance to play at the next level as well.
He's kind of think about where he'd be if he didn't get injured and miss those 10 games. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Gatilla is flared into center. Frazier will move over towards the right center gap. He'll come together with Sarsfield, but the captain out there, Braden Frazier, he'll make the catch for the 3rd out. 1 runner gets on for the Peacocks in a walk of a fashion, but we leave him out there at first. Iowa 14, Upper Iowa nothing. Bottom of the 4th coming up. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4 Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatKirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
2-3-4 due up for the Hawkeyes in the bottom of the 4th. Christensen will lead things off, followed by Guerin and Tello. We'll get our first look at Blake Guerin in the batter's box this afternoon. But first, it's Garrett Christensen, left-handed hitter for the Hawkeyes. Iowa 14, Upper Iowa nothing. Hawks with 10 hits to their name right now. 3 for Upper Iowa. First 1-2, Christensen is a called strike on the outside corner to start his at-bat. He walked when he was in the box earlier in the 2nd inning. A 1 pitch, another slider. This one missed just high, ball 1.
Your scorebook has got some
had to make a few
effort to it today.
Yes, had to make a few alterations to the scorebook. Mainly because of that first inning, Iowa pushed across 12 runs, 2 in the 2nd, nothing doing for Iowa in the 3rd. Then I had to make a lot of changes due to the substitutions.
Yeah, fortunately you don't have one that just has the lines, or you'd be in all kinds of mess of trying to stretch out all those guys.
2-1 pitch to Christensen, off the end of the bat, hit in the air foul to the left side. A little bit of my dad's handwriting, my dad's medical doctor's handwriting, just all kind of comes together at some point. But I can read it. I don't know if you can, John.
I've seen pictures of John Bonenkamp's scorebook. Yours would not qualify as his immaculate scorebook. It's well done, but
he would not be pleased with me. He'll get the better looking there. As Christensen swings and misses, he's out number 1 in the Hawkeye 4th. Time call.
I like the quick pitching changes here. He has a plan, man. Let's go.
Yep, we are going with the pitching change. That'll do it for Seifert. He comes in to get the 1 out in the inning, and he does a good job of that. We'll take a pitching change break. Let you know who the next Peacock pitcher is right after this. Iowa 14-0. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowансWin.
John Evans and John Leo in the broadcast booth at Duane Banks. We're back for the bottom of the fourth. New pitcher into the game for the Peacocks is Bill McGee, 6'4", right-handed sophomore from Reno, Nevada. How about that recruiting effort by Jeremy Ishii to go all the way down to Reno, Nevada and get this guy?
Get somebody to come to Fayette, Iowa. I like it. This is his second appearance on the bump for the Peacocks. He's pitched 2/3 of an inning, given up a hit. Hasn't given up a run, hasn't walked a guy, hasn't struck out a guy.
We'll see what he's got. All right. He's at the top of their list statistically for the pitchers, but I believe that's just
it's the 0 ERA.
The 0 ERA. That's what we've got the filter on it, right? Where it ranks them based on their ERAs. But hey, he hasn't walked anybody, and he's only given up one hit. So
faced two batters, got one of them out, got one of them on. So actually got two of them out. So just got a double play, something fun like that.
All right, Guerin is in the box. First pitch to Big Blake. He just missed it, fouled it back. That one was right in his sweet spot.
Told him before the game today, had a feeling he was going to get a couple of at-bats. I said, I want to see you do some damage today.
A 1 pitch, breaking ball. Ooh, he ducked away from it, and it was high. Ball 1.
65-mile-an-hour looping curveball there.
That one just rolls out of the hand, doesn't it? The wind up, the 1-1. Inside, hit him. 64 miles an hour off the elbow guard. And Guerin is on.
It feels like a safe one to take. If you're going to take one off the elbow guard, 64 is not going to rattle any teeth.
I'm kind of surprised he took it, aren't you?
Hey, it's just a good team player there.
Yep. Maybe think about seeing a better pitch.
Ducking out of the way so you can get another swing, but leads off the inning with a base runner. That's what a good team guy does.
Tello is in the box now. First pitch strike. He keeps going down and down and down like you got your air conditioner on. Went from 65 down to 64, now 63 on that one to Tello.
There's no way he throws a 62-mile-an-hour curveball.
Heats it up right there. 81 with a fastball that's high, ball 1.
Got a pretty over-the-top delivery, so then that curveball's fairly 12-6. It's not a sweeper. It's more of a down breaker.
Foul ball there on the left side, 1-2, and the thing is, oh man, he went to 62. I just looked at the chart over there. At this point, you kind of want to see it, don't you? You want to see a 59.
There's no way he breaks it down to 59.
That one's in the dirt. Oh, he sped that one up a bit, 64. That's got to be tough to hit. I mean, let's put if we put the jokes aside, that's got to be really difficult to hit.
Well, and then when you come back now, if he throws the 81-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's right there, low and out. He doesn't throw it accurately. It's a full count now.
I mean, it's a big speed variance, so it's a good way to keep hitters off balance. Now you got to be around the zone enough to make them want to chase something or keep them off balance.
Goes with the breaking ball up and in. It'll walk Tello. And so he's on. I've always believed in that slow pitches are hard to hit when they're that slow. When they come in with 60s or low 70s, really tough to time up.
Well,
you think you got to swing harder.
Right.
There's one sent to the screen by Frazier, 0-1.
And these guys don't see a lot of that. I mean, I'm not throwing batting practice for these guys, so they're not seeing any type of speed like this on a consistent basis. And so it does take them, an at-bat or at least, paying attention to.
0-1 to Frazier's lined into center field, down for a base hit. That's in front of Hull out there. And a one-out single for Frazier, and he's on. The base is loaded for Will Mulfler.
To get your timing right, to make sure that when you hit it, you're hitting it with the barrel of the bat and not just kind of bouncing it off the cap or getting it in off the handle. So you're trying to do some things, and it requires some focus, which isn't a bad thing in a game like this at this point because it kind of keeps you cued into what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Moelfler in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch is inside to him.
A little bit different pitch there. He threw that one at 71, so he's got must have like a little bit of a slider or a cutter or something a little bit different to that.
Moelfler's a junior from Washington State. This one's sent back to the screen. 0-2 now. Spent some time at Tacoma Community College.
First pitch missed inside.
Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, Will made quite a trek from the West Coast to here.
Yeah, we credited Coach Ishii with his recruiting effort. How about Coach Heller and Coach Sutherland to go get Will? Scoop this foul over to the on-deck circle. 1-2 now.
I asked Will last year, and I can't remember the story of how he got, who saw him, how he got to Iowa, and just see if there's something that can jog my memory as to what he had told me.
He's got to protect the outside here with a 1-ball, 2-strike count on him. Bases loaded for the Hawks in the fourth. Iowa up by a couple of touchdowns as it stands right now. The pitch popped up right side, angling towards the foul line. Looks like it'll get out of play, and it will. Moelfler stands in.
Nice to see Will back and healthy. That's the best part.
Yes.
You know, missed the first part of the year, didn't play his first game, got a couple at-bats back in mid-March, late March against Grandview as he was kind of battling his way back and getting healthy now, getting a chance to contribute. And nice hitter at the very least. He'll be a good pinch hit bat and opportunity to drive in some, maybe get a big hit in a game down the road.
Yeah, and really help with the depth in the outfield too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the 1-2. That is a called third strike at the knees. Moelfler is down, and he's out number 2.
Good pitch there, right on the bottom of the strike zone. Kind of froze Will a little bit, and he's got to take the slow walk back to the dugout.
Now we'll see Gable Mitchell again. This time the switch hitter will be at the left side. First pitch to Gable is high at the letters, ball 1. Got Guerin at third, Tello at second, Frazier at first. Plenty out there for Mitchell to drive home. Iowa up by 14. One-0 pitch is outside, ball 2. Gable has yet to see a strike today. A 4-pitch walk. Back in the third. Here's the 2-0 delivery. That's a strike high in the zone.
Gable's dad played baseball here, Brian. You might guess there might be some other important Hawkeye relationship that he might have.
Yes, Gable Mitchell. Here's the 2-1. That's low and in, ball 3.
As Gable's grandfather is a fairly famous wrestling coach around these parts, so.
Olympic gold medalist. A lot of time coaching just across the street over there at Carver. 3 balls and a strike to Mitchell. The pitch drives this to right. It's carrying towards the track, but it'll be caught by Luzum out there in right, and that'll do it for the fourth. Leave the bases loaded in the fourth inning. Iowa 14, Upper Iowa nothing. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Top of the 5th inning in Iowa City. Hawks up 14-0 on Upper Iowa. New pitcher into the game for the black and gold. 6'6", 215-pound right-handed sophomore from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Chaz Wheatley.
Appearance number 9 for Chaz as he comes in with a 3 ERA. He's pitched 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. 2 of those were earned, walked 2, struck out 4. Opponents hitting .240 against Chaz on the season.
Wheatley is another pitcher a bit like Savory, where didn't travel all the road trips early on in the season, and now all of a sudden pitching important innings. We get to the middle of conference play.
Yeah, he got in against Maryland and Minnesota, so he's seen a couple of appearances there. Had his first career win last year. That was first win against Bradley in a midweek game last year. So 1-0 in his Hawkeye career. Spread out over 16 appearances now.
Pinch hitter into the game for Upper Iowa, Justin Baylor. First pitch strike as Wheatley snaps it in on the outside corner.
All right, let's be honest, though, before you rattle off where he's from, is that the highest back elbow you've ever seen when he gets this up into position?
Yeah, he's got that angled towards what, 10 o'clock? You're a big clock position guy.
I remember when I was a kid, it was always keep your elbow up. And, I mean, I know hitting has changed a little bit since then as well, where that's not quite as prevalent. But his is above 90 degrees right now.
Right. 0-2 from Wheatley. Ooh. Gets to the backstop. That's outside, ball 1. Yeah, if you're looking at him from the Iowa dugout, so you're looking across the plate at him in the right-handed batter's box, that'd be way up there, about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock at least, yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes, pitch from Wheatley. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase the slider outside the zone, and Baylor is out number 1.
Yeah, I would think it'd just be hard to get the bat around from that position, and you'd have to kind of start early and hope you were doing what you were doing.
Trying to look at where he was at. He's played in 25 games, a .294 average. Struck out for the 12th time this season. First pitch strike from Wheatley, a hard fastball in the inside corner to the sophomore outfielder Bryce Hall. Here comes the 0-1 from Wheatley. Off the plate, outside, away, ball 1.
Hall was part of the rally there when back in the 3rd inning when Upper Iowa threatened a little bit.
He is 1 for 1. He's got one of the 3 peacock hits today with the single. Worked a 2-1 count against Wheatley now.
He hit the ground ball to Duriggi, or to Guerin.
Yes. Here's one low and out. Good pitch from Wheatley. Didn't get the call. 91 miles an hour, a bit low. 3 balls and a strike now. Wind up and the delivery from Chaz. Tapped foul in the box. 3-2 now.
Looks like Cade Obermueller's playing some catch. He'll be the next Hawkeye pitcher.
Haven't seen Cade in a week. Excited to see him get another crack at things. Here comes the 3-2 from Chaz Wheatley. High, ball 4. Missed him. Go to the top of the order now with Hull coming into the box.
Yeah, Chaz threw a clean inning last week against Bradley. That was the last time we saw him, was last Wednesday.
And that was a nicely pitched game by the Hawkeyes, winning it 6-1.
It's kind of the start of this good pitching run after getting beat up by Illinois Chicago.
First pitch is hit foul.
They came back that game, I think it was 11 strikeouts, no walks. Won at 6-1 on just kind of a wind-blown home run was the only run given up that day. And obviously had a heck of a weekend then against Nebraska.
Really misfired inside there. Ball and a strike.
So just trying to see if the Hawks can keep building on that, stay sharp on both sides here. The at-bats have still been pretty decent. They've created some traffic and done some things.
Chaz struggling a bit now as he missed high and in. Ball 2.
Yeah, you want to see the pitching now. Stay sharp.
Yes.
Stay on point here and keep throwing strikes and keep making Upper Iowa put it in play.
Fact of the matter is we're going to need all these arms when we get into postseason play. The 2-1. High ball 3. Wheatley's missing high this afternoon.
Yeah, that'll break a link in the chain there as you get Jack Young up warming up just in case.
This one's fouled back, 3-2. Good battle from Wheatley. Everything is kind of up today, John. He hasn't had that downward breaking pitch yet.
Yeah, and you want to see, as a tall guy, when he can kind of get on top and leverage it a little bit, it's when he's throwing at his best and just kind of spraying it around a little bit.
Here comes the 3-2. Ground ball left side. Seeger's off to wait for it. He'll throw to second late and got him at second base. Close play, force out, good hang. Gable Mitchell, 2 down.
I agree with you on the late, but Hawks catch a call there, and we've got 2 outs here. They had no chance to get the Speedy Hull, or the Speedy Hull. Sorry,
yes.
Headed down to first. They got the Speedy Hull at second.
That's tough, isn't it? All right, 2 down for Luzum. First pitch strike from Wheatley on the outside corner. That's a brutal. That's a tough call.
That's a ball.
That one was pretty far outside, but Wheatley will take it. No balls in the strike now with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off for second. It's grounded foul to the right side, and so he'll have to go back to first, 0-2.
The next game I call perfectly will be the first one. So
absolutely. He might have blinked, might have had that 2-seam tail that
might have had the 14-0 swing the bat, man.
Yes. Wheatley's ready with the 0-2. Here it comes. Way high and outside. Good snag there by Tallman to prevent that from going to the backstop.
A heck of a grab there from Ben to pop out of the crouch on the curveball and snap it out of the air.
Ready with the 1-2. Runner takes off. This is lined past a diving Guerin at first. Runners at the corners now for the Peacocks in the top of the 5th. Well, good effort there by Blake at first. That one was just hit too hard by Luzum, and he's had their best bat, in my opinion, today.
Well, I just, in watching him throw, I like the way he plays. He's a good, solid player. 281 hitter, probably bumping up his average today, but lots of looks like he's got a lot of pop, and then just with the basic activity of the couple of the throws he's made, I like the way he looks out there.
He was a Decorah Viking, so he knows quite a bit about Northeast Iowa. First pitch is a strike to Ethan Sawyer from Wheatley. Iowa's up on Upper Iowa 14-0 now. Pitch from Wheatley on its way home. Inside, almost hit the batter. Ball 1.
Another one of those, how did it miss him?
Yes. Sawyer didn't try too hard to get out of the way of that one.
But still somehow it missed him.
Right, yeah. I'm not sure how it did. Maybe it went between his legs on the way through. Here comes the 1-1 from Chaz. Low and out, ball 2. Wheatley's just not as sharp today. Go ahead, Jim.
No, you're exactly right. It's just, not even really a consistent variance. He's missing just in a little bit of everywhere. So you want to see him get dialed in here, just get the 3rd out and get out of this inning.
2-1, high chopper hit to Gable Mitchell at second. He'll flip it to a covering Seegers who will get the force at second base, and that will do it for the top of the 5th. Iowa 14, Upper Iowa 0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever. Oh my goodness.
Visit US Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to us mode, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
The Hawkeyes will face a new Upper Iowa pitcher. We'll get to him in just a moment, but first let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. The Peacocks will bring in a left-hander, 6'1", a sophomore from Rogers, Minnesota, Austin Shingledecker.
He's 2-2 on the season with 2 saves. This will be appearance number 13, 7.62 ERA, 26 innings, 35 hits, 23 runs, 22 of those were earned, 16 walks, 24 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .327 against him.
Hawkeye fans, visit the baseball page on HawkeyeSports.com to sign up for the Iowa Baseball Golf Tournament. Gets you free admission to the Ohio State Series. Friday, May 5th, coming up in just over a week. The Spring Baseball Golf Tournament. 8 a.m. check-in, 9 a.m. shotgun start. Lunch is served at the turn during that at Finkbine here in Iowa City. It's a 4-person best shot. Find out more details on HawkeyeSports.com under the baseball page.
Weather Channel's got 71 degrees that day. What more could you want for a golf outing?
I'd take it. Seegers swings at this one, pops it up right side on the infield. The second baseman Sawyer's there. He's got it for the first out. I might have to shake off the dust on my golf clubs, John, and go attend that. What do you think? You don't have any dust on yours.
I do not have dust on my golf clubs. They're well taken care of. Even if I haven't used them lately, they're well taken care of.
Who do you think's got the best golf swing on our team? I'm going to go Sam Honar. I'm taking the first pick. I'm going Sam Honar.
Oh, I've got Ty Langenberg.
Ty?
Yeah, 100%.
You got some inside information on me?
I do.
Right. What have you coached him or what?
Ty and I worked a lot. We talked a lot last year as Tallman swings and misses. We talked a lot last year, and one of the, I think it was in San Diego last year, he told me that if he wasn't playing college baseball, he thinks he could have worked his way to play college golf. So
really?
He would have had to work at it. Not like he could just pick it up right now and go do it. But
okay, so he's got the best golf game. Okay.
He certainly has some potential that you could build on there.
1-2 pitch to Tallman is low, maybe a bit outside, ball 2.
We've swung the PVC pipe in the bullpen.
Sure.
Getting ready for some of those Sunday starts last year.
2-2s hit foul over our heads. We'll do it again. Who do you think drives it the farthest?
Ooh. See,
the easy pick could be Blake Guerin, but I bet there's some sneaky, strong guys on this team that can really send it. Here's the 2-2. Tallman swings and misses. He's out number 2 in the 5th.
Well, the key is you got to be able to hit the center of the club face. So I mean, that's kind of.
So there's a little skill involved.
Yeah, the big deal is, okay, great. These guys can generate some club head speed. We all get that, but the sweet spot of a driver, while they keep making them bigger and bigger, is not like the barrel of a bat. You got to be a little bit precise there.
Now you see my golf swing. My ball, after I hit it, just looks like it's going to dead center, and then all of a sudden it's at the right field foul pole. So I got to figure that out before we get into golf season. Sarsfield's in the box. He's down 0-2.
Yeah, there's a lot of that goes around.
Help me out, John.
You're not the only one that hits that shot.
No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. The pitch to Sarsfield is on the way. Flared into left center and down for a base hit. Coy is on with a single.
Season hit number 2 for Coy. Nice work there as he kind of fisted that inside fastball and knocked it out into left center field.
Short game, John. Best putter. Who do you think's got the who do you think's got the mental toughness to stay locked in with putting? That's more of a mental thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a pretty good point there too, as you kind of plow through.
I might go Whitlock. What do you think?
I'd buy that, yeah. I'd take Jack on that. Although I've also talked to Jack about his golf game, and I know right now it's not any good.
Okay, so your inside information's just really crushing me right now.
Well, but I like where your head's at, and I think he'd like to work on the game a little bit. So there's some guys that play. The other one, I think, from kind of a Bulldog standpoint, I'd probably take Volk too, the birthday guy. I'd take him with a chance for that as well.
1-1 pitch to Christensen's fouled back 1-2. I think out of the support staff, you got to believe athletic trainer Jake Feldman's got a good golf game.
Why do you got to believe that?
He just comes across as a golf guy. Maybe it's the polos that he wears. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the way he dresses. He looks like he belongs on a golf course sometimes. Here's one flared foul to the left side, 1-2.
Good job there from Garrick to just kind of stick his bat out and just keep the at-bat alive. Yeah, so basically if we wear a polo shirt, I don't know that that's a full prerequisite to be a good golfer.
He wears the ball cap. He wears the ball cap. Sometimes he's got the long sleeves like a cold day at the Masters. Here's the 1-2, swung on and missed. Christensen is the third out in the 5th. That'll do it for our golf talk, Hawkeye fans. Sign up for the Iowa Baseball Golf Tournament Friday, May 5th. It starts at 8 a.m., starts at 9 a.m. at Finkbein here in Iowa City. We'll see you out there. All right, top of the 6th coming up. Hawks lead 14-0. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
John Evans and John Leo in the broadcast booth at Dwayne Banks Field. Top of the 6th inning, Iowa 14, Upper Iowa nothing. The Hawkeyes will go with a new pitcher into the game, the freshman phenom, Cade Obermuller, the lefty from here in Iowa City.
Well, now, before I dig into this, I just got completely sidetracked by, have you seen Cade's picture?
Yes, his player profile picture on the roster page. Where'd the mullet go, Cade?
That is 100% grade A mullet right there.
Is that 1970s, 1980s?
And he's pure, clean cut. He's just straight up. I kind of remember the haircut early in the year, but I don't remember him losing that much.
Yeah, he might be growing it back out, John, now that you bring it up.
I mean, that's a lot of lettuce he got cut off at that point. But back to Cade's stats. This will be appearance number 12. He has 2 starts. He's got a save, 3.45 ERA to go with a 1-0 record. 15 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 11 runs. Only 6 of those are earned, though. 12 walks and 25 strikeouts.
First pitch strike on the outside corner.
Well, I was just going to, sorry to cut you off. That just didn't even do it justice. 95-mile-an-hour fastball right off the bat.
Right on that outside corner. Tough pitch to hit. 0-1 is fouled back to the screen. This is a new hitter into the game, Brendan Coffindaffer. He's from Sparks, Nevada. All right, we got to do some research. This is the second Nevada kid that Jeremy Ishii's gone down to get.
Well, there's a West Coast connection there
somewhere. 0-2 from Obermuller. Swing and a miss. Got him at the high heater. 96 from Cade.
Boy, Cade Obermuller throwing 94, 95, 96 is a guy you want to see. As a Hawkeye fan, not necessarily as a Peacock fan right now, but or a further Big Ten fan down the road. But
this is a big outing for Cade, I think. Didn't have his best stuff against UIC last Tuesday. First pitch strike at the knees to Sam Grushkin. Grushkin's a good hitter for them. He's got 8 home runs, batting .229 this season. Stands in from the right side. No balls and a strike. Obermuller comes set from the belt. High fastball, ball 1.
Yeah, Cade walked 4 guys in Chicago last week in his inning to go with a couple hits and a couple runs. So, wasn't great against Milwaukee either. Gave up a couple hits, but got out of that one unscathed. Just kind of been struggling a little bit.
1-1 goes behind the batter. In fact, it hit him on the way by. And so Grushkin will take first base. Obermuller, coming into the season, was ranked as the #1 left-handed pitcher in the state by Perfect Game. He had a 7-1 record in high school with a 1.11 ERA his senior year. So ramping up the competition a bit when we get to college, though, and Cade's figuring it out. He's got a runner at first. A couple more substitutions. Peacocks go with another pinch hitter. Bring in Jared Hooger now.
Well, Cade hasn't given up a ton of hits. It's been the 8-hit batsman and the 5 walks, because then when you give up a hit, 12 walks, because then when you give up a hit, you've created a lot of extra traffic to cause yourself a problem. And so, 20 free base runners, even with only 11 hits, if those hits are timed well, it's going to cause you a problem, especially in what we have 15 and 2/3 innings, so 16 innings after that first out.
0-1 pitch is fouled back into the glove of Tallman. 0-2 now. Hooger is a freshman from Janesville.
You'd really like to see Cade just kind of focus on the strike zone, worry less about the hitter right now, and just almost try to throw a bullpen session here with live batters coming in.
0-2 from Obermuller. Swing and a miss. Got him with the high heater. Could not lay off 95 at the letters.
Cade was behind the mound. He was ready to go, thinking the ball was going to get slung around the infield. Forgot that he'd hit a guy, so Tallman's trying to throw it back to him.
Next pinch hitter for the Peacocks is J.J. Vargas, freshman from Heartland, Wisconsin. Right-handed hitter. First one is lined foul. Past Tello at third. Good start for Cade. So he hits the second batter of the inning, but since then he's looked pretty good finding the strike zone.
Yeah, got ahead so that then he can expand the strike zone kind of on his terms. He gets a chase out of the zone for strike 3.
0-1 delivery. That's inside. Tallman couldn't catch it. Kicks away to the left side of him, and that'll be a pass ball. Runner advancing from first to second.
Yeah, that really wasn't that far off the plate. That had a chance to be a strike and just kind of rattles off Ben's glove with the 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Iowa has Guerin, Tello, and Frazier due up in the bottom of the 6th inning when we get there. For now, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. The pitch is low. Ball 2 from Obermuller. Vargas this season batting .221. Batted in 22 runs this year. Two-one pitch from Obermuller, fouled off the foot in the box. 2-2. Vargas spends some time pitching. Made 4 appearances on the mound for the Peacocks. A utility player, also plays on the infield. Got quite a few starts. He and Grushkin, a lot of starts. Neither of them started today. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Obermuller. Ground ball to Seegers at short. He gloves it. He'll step. He'll throw for the 3rd out. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for Cade Obermuller. That'll do it for the top of the 6th. Iowa 14. Upper Iowa, nothing. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. They've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
Bottom of the sixth inning, Iowa 14, Upper Iowa nothing. Hawkeyes will go with Guerin, Tello, and Frazier. In this one, what could be the last time we see the Hawkeyes in the box. We do have a run rule in effect today, up by 10 runs after 7. Iowa up by 14 right now. New pitcher into the game is Braden Albert, left-hander from Cedar Rapids. Played his high school ball at Xavier. 5'9" junior. Albert is into the game for his 7th appearance of the season, 8.31 ERA, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He's given up a home run and a pair of doubles. So Albert is in. And Guerin will get another crack at it. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. See what Big Blake can do. Followed by Tello and then Frazier. Good crowd on hand tonight in Iowa City. Temperatures mild. Able to deal with them. They're tolerable today. Wind is not that big of a factor. I think that's been the key this season. So we'll see Guerin in the box.
The fact that we didn't feel like we needed bricks in our pocket today to keep us tied down was good.
First pitch to Blake is high and out, ball 1.
Big Blake's always got a smile on his face.
Yeah, he rips this one for a base hit into left. Ground ball single for Guerin. He'll be smiling after that one. He's on first to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Well, John, big weekend coming up for the Hawkeyes. We're headed out to Penn State for a 3-game set with the Nittany Lions. Weather is straight up miserable out there. It's supposed to rain every day at about a 70% clip. So we're going to have to get creative, I think, with how we're going to get them in.
Well, and hopefully it won't be an all-day thing. Maybe it'll rain in the morning and we'll be okay by evening, or maybe it'll be a later evening rain and we'll be able to get it in beforehand.
Well, one thing I've heard about it out there, they draw great crowds. They play at a minor league ballpark. They have great crowds out at Penn State as Tello swings and misses at the 0-1. And if anything, maybe that rain will shoo away some of the crowd and make it less of a hostile environment. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, maybe, but I think the guys had a lot of fun when we went down to Lubbock and played there in a hostile environment. And so I got a feeling Penn State can't be any more wound up than they were there.
Tello shoots the 0-2 foul towards the indoor facility to the right. We're getting down towards the end of this, aren't we, John? We've got a series with Penn State and then a home series with Ohio State, followed by one with Michigan State. Then we wrap up at Northwestern just under a month from now.
Well, and that's, you think about when Memorial Day is, and it's basically, just a slightly over a month from now. And so really that's when the championship game of the Big Ten tournament is. Mm-hmm. So right around the corner. It doesn't feel like we've had feels like a long season on one hand, and it feels like it's right there at the end on the other hand.
You mentioned Lubbock. Feels like we were at Texas Tech months ago, don't you think?
Well, it was there. No, it was Mobile. It took us forever to get home from. So
yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tello. The pitch is in the dirt, kicks away from the catcher. Guerin will take off for second base. Didn't have much of a choice there on the advancement. I think you kind of have to go there.
It's probably worse to not go than it is to go do what you're supposed to do there. Yeah, looking at Maryland hung up 17 runs in the second inning against Maryland, Baltimore County.
Man, they got us beat. We scored 12 in the first today. They're up 20-2 in the third. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Tello. The pitch is on its way home. Ground ball left side. High chopper picked up by the third baseman. He'll step and throw Rader out at first base. Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it at first. And so Tello will be on.
Almost thought he was trying to transition that over.
I thought so too, John.
Tough call.
We'll take it. Tello on first, Guerin at second. Here is Braden Frazier.
Indiana got a good win against Ball State, 9-8. Indiana scores 3 in the top of the 7th, gives up 3 in the bottom of the 7th, but then holds on to get a good win. Indiana ranked back in the top 25 now.
I'm surprised it took them that long to get back to the top 25. They've got an impressive record. They're doing a nice job at the top of the Big Ten now.
Cool.
Here's Frazier lining one into center, down for a base hit. Guerin will slam on the brakes at third base, and we'll have them loaded for Will Mulfler.
Quinnipiac tried to help the Hawks out, scored a run in the 9th, gave it back in the bottom of the 9th, scored a run in the top of the 10th, but then gave up 2 in the bottom of the 10th to lose it 15-14.
I think we might be 2 of the biggest Quinnipiac fans out there, John. We're always pulling for them to help us out.
We do capture them quite a bit at this point. Well, Iowa played them twice. That's a little bit more of a help than, or it's almost as much as a conference helper at this point.
Sure. Batter's Will Mulfler, first pitch dropping low, ball 1.
Northwestern's pounding Milwaukee. Iowa will get a shot at Northwestern there. So that one will end up netting out by the end of the season from an RPI. Illinois-Chicago wins over Northern Illinois to help out the Hawks a little bit.
2 balls, no strikes now to Mulfler.
Illinois State on top of Lindenwood, which would help a little. So, yeah, Iowa kind of firmly entrenched right now at 43, but, you know, they're 35 points away from 36th. So, I mean, it's tight kind of in that grouping. You know, and they're 41 points ahead of Virginia Tech, sitting in 46th, and they're, you know, if they moved up 41 points, they'd jump up 7 or 8 spots. So, you know, the upside is pretty good right now, and you start thinking about what a series with Penn State looks like, where, you know, obviously a sweep is great, but
yeah.
But a win would, you know, win the series, and you probably gain 30 points or so as Mulfler takes ball 4 and walks.
So Mulfler brings home Guerin on the bases loaded walk. That was kind of my next point. It feels like Iowa's in a pretty good spot making a regional if the season were to end today.
Oh, for sure. And you know, the key right now is just do what you're supposed to do. You know, it's
Gable Mitchell taking a first pitch strike.
Iowa doesn't need to win every game to you know, get into a regional, and they might not even have to win every series. But you know, if you think you go, just misses low there. If you go, you know, 8-4, might not do it, because if one of those losses in Northwestern, that'd be a little gross. But
yeah.
You know,
even one to Ohio State too, right?
Who's slumping a little bit right now.
Yeah.
But, you know, 9-3, 10-2 to finish. You start thinking about what that looks like. I mean, 17-7 in the Big Ten at that point, or 16-8. You know, you're probably finishing in the top 3 in the Big Ten. I know everybody's a little has a little bit of PTSD from last year, and you know, only getting 2 teams in when Michigan basically stole a bid. But you know, it's doable. You know, the thing with this year is, you know, Iowa has, you know, Iowa's 9-6 against quad 1, quad 2 teams this year, which is something they didn't have on a resume last year. Rutgers didn't have that on a resume last year.
2-2 to Mitchell's high and out. Full count now for him. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Iowa leading 15-0 with the bases loaded.
So, you know, a better opportunity to have a resume that holds up. You know, LSU hasn't fallen out of the 1 spot with 5 losses this year. So ball 4.
Yeah, another ball 4 that'll bring home another run, 16-0 now.
So clearly a lot of respect for LSU, and Iowa has a win over them.
Yeah.
And so, as teams are, we'll get a pitching change here as Coach hustles out to make the move. But, when you start looking at, even if you want to call Iowa a bubble team right now, when you start looking at resumes of bubble teams, Iowa's is going to hold up well. With 9 quad 1, quad 2 wins, the win over number 1 LSU, they're in a pretty good spot now. That being said, they can't quit playing baseball. They can't quit doing what they need to do week in, week out. But they've put themselves in a spot that they can get there.
We'll talk more about the series with Penn State coming up out of this pitching change break. Iowa's up 16-0 in the 6th. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. But what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
New pitcher into the game for Upper Iowa's Thane Mainers, 5'11" freshman from Caledonia, Minnesota.
7th appearance for Thane. He's got a 14.4 ERA, 5 innings pitched, 10 hits, 8 runs. They've all been earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Opponents knocking him around to a clip of 400 so far on the season.
Just going back to our conversation before that break there. 3 of the final 4 series for Iowa are against teams in the bottom quadrant of the Big Ten. Penn State this weekend is 5-7 in the Big Ten, but they've got a really good overall record. They're 23-13 overall, and they are very good at home. They're 13-3 at home. So this weekend will not be a cakewalk for the Hawkeyes. Really going to have to bring it. And of course, anytime being on the road, a little bit more difficult. This one gets to the backstop, not sending any runners, though. Bases loaded for Michael Seegers with nobody out in the 6th. Iowa 16-0. He'd come home, though, and play Ohio State, who's 3-12 in the conference. They're 500 at 20-20 overall. But they're in last in the Big Ten.
Really struggling right now. But you look at you're halfway through the Big Ten schedule for Iowa.
Seegers rips this right to the third baseman. Line drive, caught there. No advancement, no double play. After that.
Great base running by Frazier there to get back to third, as that would have been an easy ball for him to get doubled off on, because he takes a step toward home or doesn't kind of track it. But good job to stay engaged there and get back. But you look at the first half of the schedule for Iowa. They played the number 1 team in the Big Ten, the number 2 team in the Big Ten, and a team that's tied for 4th in the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. Now they also played 11, but they basically their first half was the top of the Big Ten. Now they'll get 4, 10, 12, and 13 to finish. So an opportunity to get hot and go on a run if you keep doing the right things.
Batter's Ben Tallman. 0-1 pitch is fouled in the box. 0-2 now. Just doing some math. If Iowa gets their 30th win today, you could see a path to 40-plus wins in the regular season for the Hawkeyes.
True. Now when you start looking at resume and things, they're going to take off 4 of these wins.
Right.
This win today isn't going to count. Coe and Loris aren't going to count. But the point is still there that
0-2's up and in. Tallman watches that go by with a close eye.
But it'll be a pretty impressive record, even if you took those out of there, come selection room time.
Indiana at the top of the Big Ten, 9-3. They are 30-11 overall.
Live RPI is 11.
That is good stuff. 1-2 to Tallman. Called third strike, got him at the knees. Ben is down for the third time tonight. Base is still loaded. We'll send it with Coy Sarsfield now.
Yeah, been a tough day at the plate for Ben.
Yeah, he reached on an error and scored in the first, walked in the third, but a couple of strikeouts around there. Here's Sarsfield, bases loaded with 2 outs. First pitch to Coy. Check swing, he went around. Did he? Yes, he did.
But yeah, you've got Indiana, again, 11 in the RPI, 22-1 at home.
We gave him that one, though.
We did give him the one.
Make sure we throw that in there.
But they're 12-10 in quad 1, quad 2 games, which is how you get an RPI up there by playing.
Sarsfield sends it on the ground to short. They'll flip it to second for the force out to get us out there. And that'll do it for the 6th. Iowa 16, Upper Iowa nothing. 3 more outs to get before shutting things down from Dwayne Banks today. We'll get more standings talk in just a second. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy 1 free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skoglund Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4 Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
New pitcher into the game for Iowa to get the final 3 outs. If we can hold the Peacocks leading 16-0 right now, we'll see Will Christofferson come into the game, the redshirt junior righty from Bettendorf.
18th appearance for Christo. He's 2-1 on the season with a 4.7 ERA, 15 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned, 11 walks, and an impressive 30 strikeouts, with opponents hitting just 164 against Will.
With a lot of sliders, I'd imagine, here today. Back to our conference talk. Iowa's got the best win percentage in the conference at .744. Indiana's just behind at .732. So overall, the Hawkeyes are right up there at the top and making their way closer to it. With the conference standings now after shaking off those early season series losses to Maryland and Indiana.
Yeah, and Iowa and Rutgers are your 2 teams that are, would be possible at large again this year. Swing and a miss there on the nasty slider. Rutgers 10-12 in quad 1, quad 2 games, something that they didn't have a great number of last year as well.
Nice slider from Christofferson. Missed just up and in. He's working a 2-1 count on Baylor. Here's the pitch from Will. Swing and a miss. Sharp slider, 2-2.
But so they've got that opportunity at RPI in the upper 40s, right around where Iowa is. A chance for an at-large bid if it came down to it. I guarantee after what happened to them last year, that's not something they want to fiddle around with and hope. They'd like to close the season strong and get up into the 30s or even the 20s to give themselves almost a lock.
Full count pitches swung on and missed for the first out of the top of the 7th. A lot of teams are on pretty significant win streaks in the Big Ten. Indiana's on a 7-game win streak. Rutgers is on a 6-game win streak. The Hawks were on a 4-game win streak. So there are a few teams that are rattling off some wins in a row now.
What do you have Indiana at?
I've got Indiana to 7-game win streak.
Yeah, they won today, so they're.
They have an 8 now. Okay,
yeah,
this isn't
8.
updated fully then. Okay. So they're 31-11 now. Yeah.
Yep, and Penn State got a win. They're at 4 in a row, so a couple of hot teams will match up there. They've got a tough opponent today, though. They're playing West Virginia.
I really would like Penn State to win that game.
You would. It's 4-0 West Virginia after the 3rd inning, but yeah, you'd like. I mean, at this point, you want every Big Ten team to win out of conference games, especially against a ranked team. It's just all that stuff helps Iowa, helps the conference, gives that extra at-large berth credibility.
Christofferson's 1-2 delivery is too far outside, ball 2. We don't see Michigan or Rutgers, so we're going to have to pull closer to Michigan without a head-to-head battle with them. 2-2 is a slider inside, ball 3. If we want to pull away from Rutgers, we're going to have to do that on our own accord.
If you want a dark horse favorite to win the Big Ten, it's going to be Michigan.
You think so?
Yes, because of the remaining schedule they have.
3-2 is swung on and missed on the outside corner. Good pitch from Christofferson. 2 down.
They have 3 series left: Minnesota, Northwestern, and Ohio State.
All right, you might be right.
so you're getting 2 of the lower teams, and then you're getting the team in last who right now is struggling. So. Now, granted, Michigan-Ohio State has its own level of angst and rivalry, so maybe Ohio State rallies, but another good breaking ball there.
Christofferson starts off Nico Vitae with that strike there. He's a senior from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Christo. Popped foul to the right side, 0-2.
But I'm not sure Indiana's got necessarily 3 more losses in them to get down to there either. So, it's still baseball. It's, even when you're the better team, you don't always win. And so, big series this weekend for Indiana with Maryland. That'll go a long ways.
They could help us out, get closer if they knock off Maryland a few times.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, you kind of got to decide what do you want. Do you want to try to win the conference? You kind of want then a 1-2 split. If you want to just knock one of them out.
0-2 is a slider that's outside. Upper Iowa down to their final strike.
If you want to just take one of them out, you go ahead and say, hey, you sweep them and just be done with it.
I think I'd rather go that route at this point.
I agree.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Christofferson out of the windup. Long pause on the mound, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Christo got him with a nice slider, and that'll do it. Hawks win in 7 today. 16-0 over the Peacocks. Well, it was good to talk the standings there at the end. Give us a clear vision of what we need to do headed into Penn State this weekend, John.
Got like we talked about, the road in front of Iowa is pretty clear, and I mean, it has hurdles in other teams, but it doesn't have anything too scary in it. Just go take care of business, get it done, and all of the goals out there that Iowa was shooting for are attainable.
All right, we'll get into post-game right after this. Iowa wins at 16-0 in 7. You're listening to Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Iowa gets their 30th win of the season, taking down Upper Iowa 16-0 in 7 innings. Coach Heller, for the 8th time in his 10-year tenure, has gotten to that 30-win mark, and the only two times that he hasn't been able to do that is because we had a COVID-shortened year and then a conference-only season. So basically, if I'm doing the math, he's 8 for 8 getting us to 30 wins.
Oh, agree completely. I was still stuck on your 10-year tenure.
Hey, didn't that work though?
That was quite the alliteration or tongue twister or whatever you had rolling there.
All right, John. Well, your final thoughts, your takeaways on the win today.
It's what should have happened. I mean, again, Upper Iowa was kind of doing Iowa a little bit of a favor of rolling in here. Not that they were going to treat it as any sort of an exhibition or anything, but they also have other games they need to take care of and worry about. So it wasn't going to be their Friday starter rolling out here, and Iowa did a nice job though of getting him in the strike zone and then doing damage when they got him into the strike zone, and the pitching staff did another nice job. You had just 3 free bases. 3 walks, I guess. You had a hit batter in there, so you had another free base that way. But a pretty clean game from the pitching staff. Got another shutout, the 3rd one on the season now, and a couple in 3 starts here. So really nice job there. I mean, what are we now? We're 7 and 18, 25 innings, giving up 1 run.
Yep.
That's pretty good from the staff.
Really good stuff from the pitching staff coming in and throwing strikes, and that's the key. Really nice to see us put that Tuesday game from last week behind us. I think that might be the last time I mention it. I know I've hung on to it a little too long for a lot of people's liking, but bottom.
That's because it left a mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, from both sides of the field, it left a mark. So.
All right, Hawks win it 16-0 in 7. When we come back, we'll talk with Associate Head Coach Marty Sutherland right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness. Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Iowa beats Upper Iowa today 16-0 in 7 innings. We're joined now by Associate Head Coach Marty Sutherland. Coach, took care of business today.
Yeah, I just thought the guys coming off of a pretty emotional weekend and against a rival opponent, I thought the guys were ready to go. Zach gave us a good first half inning, and then from there, offensively, especially for the first, probably 15 to 18 hitters of that game, it was pretty impressive. First inning, I think we had 9 2-out RBIs, Sam with the grand slam, and just guys just stringing great at-bats together, one after another, and even the outs were pretty loud that inning. So just a great job of the guys just continuing to kind of do what we're talking about, which is they all matter, and the only thing that you're guaranteed is today. So you got to come with great focus, great energy, and I thought the guys did a really nice job with that.
I think it's 25 innings now. John and I were talking about 25 innings of giving up just 1 run on the pitcher's side of things.
Yeah, they did a great job, and a game like this, you certainly are hoping to get a bunch of different guys out there, which we were able to do, and like I said, Zach got us off to a good start, and when we did get into a little trouble, guys executed and made some pitches. Jared did, and Chaz did, and then the other 3, Nick, Gatilla, Cade, and Will all were pretty good. So from that standpoint, it was good. I think the free bases were like 6 or so it wasn't bad in that regard anyway. And again, just getting off to the type of start we did offensively kind of took the wind out of their sails. And, for Upper Iowa, I just, all of us just appreciate them taking the time to come down here. And listen, they had 4 conference games this weekend. They have 2 more tomorrow. I mean, it's just not much they can do. You know, they're throwing guys out there that have probably had some struggles or just haven't been out there all that much. And, you know, we just appreciate them taking the time to come down and just happy for the guys that they took care of business in the way they did.
As far as I'm concerned, Coach is now 8 for 8 in getting to that 30-win mark, with the exception being the 2 years that were shortened. Okay, but, you know, that's a pretty big deal, in my opinion. I know he's a pretty humble guy down there.
Well, I mean, you know, I certainly have been lucky enough to be a lot part of this, especially at Iowa all 10 years. But, you know, I'm here because of him. I'm here in my belief in what he does and what he stands for. And it's just the consistency every day, right? I mean, that's all he talks about, you know, every year is just like it's about today. It has nothing to do about yesterday or tomorrow. It's about being in the moment and again, coming with the same energy focus every single day. And if you do that, you likely are going to force the other team to beat you. And, you know, most of the teams that he's coached, that's what's happened is you know, teams are pretty stingy that way that, you know, we're not going to give other teams a lot of things. When we do, we know we don't probably have a great chance to win that day, but for the most part, we're going to force them to beat us and we're just going to play hard and we got great kids. So, you know, it says a lot about his continued, just what he stands for every single year, and it never wavers that way. And it's certainly a great thing to be a part of all the time. And I think he'd be the first to tell you that it starts with the type of kids you have in your program. And we're certainly lucky to have some great ones, a lot of great ones.
He's knocking on the doorstep now of 1,000, but we'll take it one game at a time, right, Coach?
That's right. Right.
And that starts this weekend at Penn State. Now it's going to be a big one. They're good at home.
Yeah, they're really tough at home. It's kind of a difficult place to play. We haven't been there since 2016. I think was the last year we were there, and the only time we were there. I don't know that we've been there one other time. I'm trying to think of it. So it's been a while, and you know, they're having a nice year. They got quality starting pitching. They have an older lineup. It's a good offense. It's one of the top 2 or 3 offenses in our league from a statistical standpoint. So we know we're going to have our hands full that way. And they're really well coached. And we certainly know some the guys on their staff. They're guys that have worked here at Iowa before. So we know they're going to do a great job. And we'll have our hands full, man. If you don't bring it, like, it's going to be a rough weekend, and I know there's going to be some weather, so we're probably going to dance around some things. But you know, the most important thing is for us to enjoy tonight, but then come tomorrow with the focus of getting better, and we'll have probably a couple guys throw live and have you know, that in the practice plan, and then we'll get a practice out there on Thursday, and we got to be ready to go. They're going to be a tough team to handle at their place, and again, it's a pretty quality, you know, squad they have. And I know coming off of last year was the first time they had made the conference tournament in a long time. It was a quality team then. They got a lot of those guys back. So it's going to be a great challenge.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on the win tonight, and we'll see you on the plane on Thursday.
All right. Thanks, John.
Associate head coach Marty Sutherland on our post-game show from Duane Banks. Hawks win it 16-0 in 7. We're back with highlights and the wrap-up. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
US Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness. Visit US Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Iowa improves to 30-10 on the season following the 16-0 shutout of Upper Iowa today. Let's go over some of the highlights from the Hawkeye winner. Out of the stretch, Volker's got the sign, the pitch. This is a line drive right to Deriggi. He caught it. He'll touch on the bag at first for a double play. First one to him, lined into the left center gap and down for a base hit. That'll score Wilmus. Anthony rounding second, headed for third. DeRiggi taking off for second base. He hits a double to bring home the first run of the game. Hawks lead 1-0. Here's Huckstorf swinging at the first pitch. Diving play by the shortstop. He bobbled it, though. Huckstorf will get to first. DeRiggi will score on the backside. 3-0 here in the first. 1-1 pitch. Michael with a line drive into the right center gap. It's down for a base hit. Huckstorf will score. Here comes Honar. He'll score two. Seegers slides into second base with a 2-out double. Hawks lead at 5-0. He drives this one deep to left, carrying well. Get going, baby. It is gone. Sam Peterson. Grand slam. Boom. Swing and a miss. Cristo got him with a nice slider, and that'll do it. Hawks win in 7 today, 16-0 over the Peacocks. Iowa scored 12 in the first inning, 2 in the second, 2 more in the sixth, and the Hawkeyes blank the Peacocks 16-0 in 7. It was a nice day here at Duane Banks. Thank you for listening to Hawkeye Baseball today. We'll talk to you Friday afternoon out in Happy Valley, 4 o'clock Central Time, first pitch. That game's also going to be televised on Big Ten Network. You can sync up our radio call with the TV call, and we'll talk to you from State College. Big series coming up with Penn State. All right, that'll do it for our coverage of Hawkeye Baseball this afternoon. Iowa 16, Upper Iowa, 0 in 7 innings. For my great board op down the line, Michael, great job as always. My broadcast partner, John Evans, I'm John Leo saying so long from Duane Banks here in Iowa City. Hawks win at 16-0. Every day is a great day to be a Hawkeye. Some are just a little bit better than others. So long, everybody.
Hawkeye Baseball has been brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network, Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.